You're with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk, and Ipswich Town are at Stamford Bridge to face 5 times Premier League champions Chelsea. Former Town captain Mick Mills watching this one alongside your commentator Brenna Woolley.
And I reckon you'd have to be at least 50 to remember the last time Town won here. That was way back in May 1979. Exactly a year after the Blues FA Cup success, in fact, and also a day after Margaret Thatcher came to power. Roll forward the best part of half a century, and it looks like a tall order to end that run here this afternoon. Although you never know. Chelsea were in Poland just 3 nights ago. The league form isn't sparkling, and of course Town have already beaten them this season. This, though, will be some away victory because today's hosts are still in a Champions League qualification spot and boast a squad assembled for more than £500 million. It's another excellent away following here this afternoon, most of whom accept that Town's latest stay in the top flight is likely to last just 1 season, but all of them hoping for at least one more spike on the graph before the campaign concludes in just 6 weeks from now. And of course, it's the start of a nice little run with Real Madrid's conquerors Arsenal up next, followed by a trip to the Carabao Cup winners in less than a fortnight. Mick, ideally wins, but what else would you like to see from Town in these remaining 7 games of the season?
Well, I'd just like to see us sort of go out with a bang, if you like. I mean, it is pretty, it's almost definite that we are going to go down. And I would just like us to sort of prove to people that we are a decent side. I think, I, along with many other sort of families, have got people scattered around the country, not necessarily sort of Ipswich people, and sometimes you get involved in conversations about your team, and that's how they sort of address Ipswich, your team, when they're talking to me, and they tend to have said this year, your team haven't been very good, have they? And they haven't been this and they haven't been that. But I'd like to think that maybe over the next period of time, when I'm talking to friends and family that don't live in Ipswich, they say, well, at least your lads gave it a good go, and that's what I want them to do. Give it a good go, have some decent form, and possibly that will just produce a few good results to take into the summer. I think we've been a little bit below par, to be perfectly honest, this season. I expected a fraction more. I thought it would be very hard for us to stay in, but I did expect a little bit more. So I really hope that we finish the season with good performances.
Town in all pink this afternoon up against the blue shirts and shorts and white socks of Chelsea. Plenty changes from both managers. Town make 3 from the side that lost to Wolves 8 days ago. Delap is only on the bench because of a rib injury. Broadhead and Townsend also drop out. In come Davis, Clark and Hurst. Palmer in all yellow off to our left at the moment, the goalkeeper. Back for Twanzebe, who we heard from on Matchday earlier on. O'Shea, Burgess and Davis. Then the 2 of Morsey, the captain, alongside Kayuste, who's in good form. Then a 3 of Johnson and Ciso and Clark in support of Hurst. On the bench, Walton, Broadhead, Chaplin, Taylor, Townsend, Delap, Wolfenden, Philogene and Luongo. 5 changes from Chelsea's last league game. That was the 0-0 with Brentford, and only 2 players incidentally survived from Legia Warsaw on Thursday. The 5 players dropping out from Brentford are Gusto, James, Dewsbury Hall, Sancho and Nkunku. In come Colwill, Cucurella, Palmer, Neto and Jackson. Their goalkeeper is Sanchez. The back 4, Shalabar, Tosin, Colwill and Cucurella. It's the same system as Town, incidentally. Then a 2 of Caicedo alongside the captain Fernandes. They cost 206 million between them. Then a 3 of Madueke, Palmer and Neto in support of Jackson. On the bench, Jorgensen, who played in goal when he conceded a penalty kick actually at Portman Road earlier on this season. Town winning that game 2-0. Alongside him, Achiampong, who's the youngster, Badia Shiel, James Gusto, Dewsbury Hall, George, Sancho and Nkunku. Did a quick tot-up earlier on. This Chelsea side cost a call £451.5 million to assemble. Ipswich Town's didn't, and in fact there are 4 League One players in this Ipswich Town starting lineup with another 5 on the bench. It just shows, it's just a little reminder of how far Ipswich Town have come in such a short space of time. And despite the fact we don't expect to be here in the league next season, like Mick was just saying, Ipswich Town are going to come here and hopefully have a right old go at Chelsea and hopefully secure an most likely double, their first double since that season of 78-79 that I mentioned a few moments ago against the West Londoners. The referee this afternoon in All Black. Stuart Atwell, it's third time he's done town this season. Did the draw with Villa early doors at Portman Road, and then Newcastle United's 4-0 win at Portman Road just before Christmas. Of course, Town's next away game is at St James's Park in under a fortnight now. It's back-to-back games against Londoners, though, for Ipswich Town. What a mouth-watering little run of fixtures. Arsenal at home in a week's time, but this afternoon, as we're about to get underway, and there's 2 o'clock kick-off live on BBC Radio Suffolk. It's all about the Pinks against the Blues. Ipswich Town are away at Chelsea, and Cecil gets the ball back to O'Shea, the right-sided centre-half. He moves it square to Burgess. The Australian knocks it long, headed on by Hurst, and Cecil goes after it wide left outside the Chelsea area, belted high into the sky by Tosin, former Manchester City player who arrived here on a free from Fulham last summer. Town player shoved in the back on the halfway line. It's a very low commentary position here at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, it's so low. I walked down the steps earlier on just to have a look at the stadium.
I do like this stadium. Creates a real atmosphere here at Stamford Bridge. Town visited here twice in relative quick succession. Twice in 3 seasons in the FA Cup, 09 and 11. Lost 3-1 here in 2009, and a couple of years later it was the 7-0 under stand-in manager. I remember Ian McParland took charge of Ipswich Town before Paul Jewell got the job. Long punt forward into the Chelsea area, flagged offside. Ipswich Town, it's header in field by O'Shea, who got the assist for Delap last week. He's complaining to the referee's assistant near side. The man with the checkered flag raised his right arm, and it's a free kick to Chelsea.
Well, that was crazy because the Chelsea defending, they were really narrow. They allowed a lot of space down this outside area. We hit it, and we're offside.
Chelsea get a good free kick straight through the heart of midfield, and Enzo to the right-hand side. Jackson, now it's Chelsea on the right with Madueke, the England international, into the centre. Chance for Cole Palmer, back to goal in the D. Couldn't turn himself around. Colwell shifts the ball to the right-hand side. Shalabar, 44 loan appearances for Ipswich Town, 6 seasons ago now. Trevor Shalabar, in comes across from Enzo towards the far stick. Chasing after it and shielding it out is Ben Johnson, the former West Ham man. Makes sure that it's a goal kick to Palmer than anything more worrying than that.
Yeah, it won't worry both defences, but already there's a little scare both ends. Poor defending from the free kick by Chelsea. They were lucky to get away that the Town player had strayed offside, and then we've allowed the free kick to come through us far too easily.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Kick from Palmer, left to right. Beautiful afternoon in West London. The tube here earlier on absolutely jam-packed with people no doubt heading towards Putney Bridge and Richmond for the boat race. Town have got about 3,065 to be precise fans here watching this game. Excellent away support again, making the most of every single trip in the Premier League. Just 3 more to go after this one. Up to halfway is Colwell, another England international in this Chelsea side. Now it's the Portuguese Neto, former Wolves man, carries the ball into the centre of the park as Enzo Maresca in front of us, the Chelsea manager. Got Leicester promoted from the Championship last season. Just has a word with his bench. One-time Manchester City coach Maresca. Ball forward, given away by Tosin, intercepted by Morsey. Morsey looks towards Enciso, in goes Cucurella. Morsey with the ball to the right-hand side. Johnson, Cucurella is away from home. Johnson can make inroads down this right. Gets the edge of there, and now back comes the Spaniard. Cucurella goes to the deck, and Johnson's been blown up against for a foul on the former Brighton player, Cucurella, who stayed down. He's got himself a free kick on the edge of his penalty box.
Well, that was a terrific break, and it came from a pass by Sam Morsey. He seized on the opportunity to get it out wide right, where Ben Johnson picks the ball up. He's got acres of room to run the ball into, which he does. And Ciso's decided to vacate the central position to come round him. And I think that's where Ben Johnson sort of suffers when he plays this right side attacking position. He can do so much of it, 2/3 of it. But when he gets into that crucial last third of the pitch, I don't think he's got an attacking mind on him.
Morsey sportingly just checks on Cucurella's little break and play whilst Mick was chatting there. Now it's a free kick to Chelsea for the initial foul on Cucurella. He keeps looking towards the physio's near side, then changing his mind. They've been told to wander off in their baseball caps, the pair of them near side. Ball is back with Sanchez, the former Brighton goalkeeper. Terrible kick from Sanchez straight to Jack Clark, edge of the area. Chance for Clark to have a go. He gets right underneath that. That's a wasted opportunity. He's got to do better there, Clark.
Yes, he has a stupid bit of goalkeeping. He sort of ends up with the ball on his weaker foot. Why he does that, I don't know, the goalkeeper. And then he thinks he can play a 40-yarder out with his bad foot. Well, he didn't manage that. We seized upon it. And then when Clark had possession of that ball, I think he's got to search a little bit, even get himself in slightly better position, because he had loads and loads of time on the ball.
Got to do better, Clark. That wasn't good. Terrible kick again from Sanchez.
And that was with his best foot.
Let's hope that's a sign of things to come.
Yeah,
Poor
exactly.
footwork from him in quick succession. Here is Tuan Zabi. Nice to hear from him earlier on BBC Radio Suffolk with a throw-in, his first involvement of the game. Then he gives it back to O'Shea, who in turn finds Alex Palmer in front of one of the Bobby Tambling signs, very popular former player in this part of the world. So many tributes to ex-players. The one over to our right-hand side, JT, captain, leader, legend. Chelsea, quick free kick wide on the right-hand side. Madueke takes the ball to the byline. In comes his cross to the centre, volleyed away with both feet off the floor by Johnson. Out to Shalabar, the number 23. Madueke again. That black headband. In field it goes to Shalabar, 30 yards from the Ipswich goal line. Shalabar gives it straight to an Ipswich Town player, but Hurst couldn't do anything with it. The blue shirt was straight on top of him. And it's now Tosin who gifts it to the far side. Shalabar down the line, Madueke, first time in from him, intercepted by Morsey. Here is Kayuste holding off the challenge of Enzo, World Cup winner with Argentina. Down goes Enciso. Free kick to Ipswich Town in the middle of their half. Still 0-0 on BBC Radio Suffolk after 6 minutes of this Premier League fixture.
Just a little bit of wastefulness by both teams, but also real pressure for us to win the loose ball there. And then Ciso did exactly the right thing to win himself a free kick.
Burgess, mistake from him, but then O'Shea clears to the far side, controlled by Leif Davis, who of course didn't start last week. Real rarity in terms of a league line-up in recent seasons. Davis on the bench, Townsend started, but the Geordie is back in here this afternoon. Long kick forward from O'Shea, headed back comfortably, little cushioned nod. Little twist to the neck from Tosin, straight back to the shaven-headed Sanchez, who might be a bit more comfortable with the ball in his gloves rather than on the deck, based on what we've seen so far in this game. He bowls it out underarm to the right back area, dropping his shoulder and carrying the ball away as Tosin gives it square to Colwill. Here is Cucurella, back to Colwill on the edge of the Chelsea area. Square it goes to Tosin. 8 games unbeaten here. Chelsea 6 wins and 2 draws in all competitions at Stamford Bridge. They've only lost once here in the league since the opening weekend. Chelsea go down the left-hand side. Neto with a chest trap, comes in field, gets the ball to the left-hand side. Cucurella inside the Ipswich area, blocked up by O'Shea. Important defending from the Irishman. Can't keep the ball in near side. Oh, and he might have twisted something. He's up on his feet. Chelsea take a quick throw-in. Cucurella being booed by the Ipswich Town supporters. They're off to our left, incidentally, Ipswich, behind Palmer's goal. Here is the other Palmer on the field. Cole Palmer finds Enzo. On the right, it's Madueke overlapping Enzo. Into the centre comes the ball. Chance for Chelsea off the post from Jackson. Ipswich Town got away with that. Cleared by Kayuste. And out on the far side, it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I think it's poor defending from Cameron Burgess. The ball has sort of come from the right touchline and found a player completely free in the Town box.
Chelsea down the right-hand side causing problems. Enzo's attempted cross deflects off an Ipswich Town player. Corner kick, Town under pressure.
Yeah, it's a lively game. It's an open game. Both teams look as if they are quite happy to do some attacking whenever they get the opportunity. So, there could be goals in this game.
Could be a great rush at the moment to take this corner kick. Look, Wolfenden been sent out just in case O'Shea has a problem. It was one that could have been nasty. It was in his attempt to prevent the ball going out for a corner. Looks as if he twisted something, but he's okay, still on the field at the moment, O'Shea. Hopefully Wolfenden sent out as a precautionary measure. Corner kick to Chelsea in the 9th minute. It's played short. Now it's back towards Neto. Neto pulls it back. Enzo gets right underneath that from 15 yards, maybe even closer to the goal line. That was a chance that's gone begging as far as Chelsea are concerned.
Well, it was a decent sort of corner kick. It's a short one. It's been worked. It comes back. It goes square. There's a half effort for a shot there, but at least they found some room in the Town penalty area. I was just also concentrating on, when you get this huddle of players, attacking players, they get into a very tight-knit group, and the defensive players think that they can go inside that little group and realistically mark people, but you can't. You just should space off around the huddle.
Burgess has done well to find Jack Clark far side. Back to Davis. Davis left-footed over the top, one for Hurst to run onto, but Tosin gets a head start and hooks it away over his head as he ran back to face his goal line. Shalabar under pressure. Ipswich Town pressing. Shalabar has to turn and clip it into the centre of the field. Morsey wins a header above Palmer. Headed down by Kiyuste, on from Johnson to Enciso, but it's Caicedo finds Enzo, crossing halfway. Enzo's seen a fair bit of the ball at the moment for Chelsea. Captain now Madueke loves to run with the ball, gets inside the Ipswich area. Still Madueke, left-footed, shoots, blocked away well by O'Shea. I think Palmer was behind it, but well done by the Ipswich Town centre-half. As Madueke challenges Clark, ball goes out far side. Chelsea looking useful.
Yeah, it's lively. There's sort of four attacking players, and you've got Fernandes, he backs it up. Cucurella is so keen to come from the left-back position to get into midfield, so they've got a large number of players who want to attack. And then, of course, you get Caicedo, who's a midfield player. He sits and holds and tries to cover everybody.
It cost £100 million, Caicedo from Brighton.
For an insurance.
Kiyuste almost ran into problems there. Morsey comes away with the ball, leaves Cole Palmer behind him. On the left-hand side, Jack Clark. Clark goes back towards Burgess. Helped heavily with a move to Girona this summer. Cameron Burgess, when he becomes a free agent, what a move that would be for him to La Liga. Here is Kiyuste. He's been playing well for Ipswich Town of late, the Swede. Twanzebe through a little gap in midfield away from Enciso. Paul from Ipswich. Chelsea with Jackson in behind as Neto. Left-hand side. Ipswich Town, remember, gave the ball away. Chelsea get to the byline and comes across from Neto to the far stick. Chance for Madueke! And it's into the side netting. It's come off an Ipswich Town player. It's another corner kick. Again, Town generous, giving away the ball.
Well, Pedro must be quick, because he sort of saw that ball go back, and then he knew the ball was going to be delivered forward, and he seemed to leave Chuanzebe quite easily. I'm not sure whether Chuanzebe was caught thinking about the wrong things or whether that's a difference in pace, but he showed a little bit of pace, Neto on Chelsea's second corner kick from the far left corner of Stamford Bridge. Still 0-0, live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Pretty much 12 minutes gone in this Sunday afternoon Premier League encounter. Left-footed in-swinger from the Portuguese, caught by Palmer, nicely held by the former West Brom man. Yeah, we now need to settle down, just lay a little bit of a marker down. I thought the first 5-6 minutes were very, very even. Both teams looked capable of getting into good attacking positions.
Twanzebe asked a lot of Morsey. Morsey's dived in. The referee says play on because Chelsea have got the ball. Good advantage. Enzo to the left-hand side. Neto outside the Ipswich area. Cucurella's making a run. Step over from Neto. Still trying to bamboozle Johnson. Then goes for the return. No, he doesn't. Enzo dinked it into the box, but Neto had stood still, caught on his heels. Goal kick to Palmer again. Town giving the ball away.
Yeah, I was trying to finish off there and say that we were sort of having a silly spell where we were giving the ball away, giving Chelsea an opportunity after an opportunity to create something, and from that they were winning a lot of corners. We now got to say to them, hold on, we're not as bad as that 5-minute spell. You know, we'll make you think about things.
Burgess to Kiyuste. Kiyuste's robbed by Enzo. Town struggling to string together any number of passes. They've given the ball away to Chelsea. Yet again? Shalabar to Enzo. Cole Palmer, edge of the area. Into the box, it's Neto. Now just outside the box. Neto dinks the ball high towards the far post. Headed in by Enzo. Scooped it away by Kiyuste. Maresca frustrated by side's inability.
Well, Fernandes was going around the back of the whole group of players there and was in a great position and had it taken off of him.
Chelsea comfortably on top, helped by Ipswich Town, it has to be said, although Town are being pressurised into errors. Cole Palmer dropping off, trying to orchestrate. Colwill to the left-hand side. Neto one-on-one taking on Johnson, beating Johnson. Chance for him to cross again to the far stick. Madueke knocks it down, gets it back off the defender. Madueke inside the box, no room for a shot just yet. Plays it back, effort from Shalabar, saved by Palmer. It was on target from the big right back, but Palmer thankfully was right behind it.
Come on, Kieran, get your boys to settle down a little bit, you know, maybe just get everybody, don't get them where they are now, get them up the pitch to the 40-yarder mark and get some long ball stuff going just to turn Chelsea around a little bit. There's too much on top of their game at the moment, Chelsea.
Clark towards Hurst. Hurst goes down. Referee says free kick for a foul on him by Colwill. He's got a grin on his face. Up steps the Scotland international from being fouled. Free kick to Ipswich. Finally, they've got the ball inside the Chelsea half of the field. Chelsea in command, but still no goals if you're joining us 14.5 minutes in on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Wolves playing Tottenham as we speak. Wolves will be hoping to go 15 points clear of Ipswich Town this afternoon. Already 12 at the start of play. Still 12, of course, in the live table. No goals in either game. Davis over this free kick for Ipswich Town, just inside the Chelsea half, diagonally out to this right-hand side, and O'Shea brings it down, then scoops it into the middle, but it's a really simple take for Sanchez, just a yard off his goal line, unchallenged.
Silly, narrow defended from Chelsea again. The first one, they were lucky to get us offside. That one gave O'Shea a free ball, and he does nothing with it. You know, we've got to just be better on the ball. We really have.
Madueke goes back to Shalabar, now in field Tosin, who's playing as the right-sided of the two centre-halves. Colwill to his left. Tosin stands on the ball, just stationary off to our right. Gives it to Colwill, gets it back. Hurst closes down Tosin, out to the right-hand side. Shalabar, who played mostly in midfield really in his time as an Ipswich Town player, a loan signing under Paul Hurst back in the summer of 2018. Chelsea work the ball to halfway. Colwill down this near side there left, in blue, infield to Colwill from Neto. Touched on to Cole Palmer. Palmer on his left-hand side, edge of the area. Back come the pink shirts. Palmer going one way, then the other. 14 goals this season. Palmer still has it, the number 20, out to the left-hand side, Neto. Palmer makes a run, gets the ball back. No one went with him by the byline, and it crossed from Palmer. Headed up and over by O'Shea. Good defending yet again from the Irishman. Corner though to Chelsea.
Well, it was good defending in numbers as well. We had plenty of pink shirts sort of close to the goalkeeper there, and it was difficult to find any room for that cross, but Chelsea looked quite impressive.
Get goal news from Graham in a second, just after this corner kick. Liverpool-West Ham also underway at 2 o'clock. Later on, Newcastle play Man United. Busy Sunday afternoon in the Premier League. 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's third corner kick. Enzo bangs it in, headed away by Burgess. Cole Palmer goes after it on this near side. 37 goals he got in an incredible season last year. Caicedo, the Ecuadorian, finds Shalabar out to the right-hand side. Neto, he's switched flanks. Now having a little run at Leif Davis. In pink, Davis, the number 3, just backpedaling. Neto still has it. Madueke, both wide players for Chelsea on the far side momentarily. Playing it short between the two. Shalabar back to the centre circle. Now it's with Caicedo to Shalabar. All 10 pink shirts behind the ball. Madueke, chance to cross into the Ipswich Town area. Travelled a long way, free header. Good save by Palmer. Really good save. And then Cole Palmer might get a chance. No, Town get it away, not for very long. Chelsea win it back just outside the box. Cole Palmer for Chelsea gives it to Cucurella, who shoots, gets underneath it, and it's high into the crowd. Another chance that Chelsea have not made the most of, thankfully.
Yeah, too many mistakes. We're guilty. We get half a chance to win the ball, and then we give it back to Chelsea, and you can't give the ball to this team is a talented team. They don't need any assistance to play well, and that's what we're doing. We're giving them plenty of opportunity to do it. I'm glad all of a sudden goalkeeper's got the ball. We've now decided as a team to get up on the halfway line. That's what we need to do. We need to get possession of the ball away from our own goal, and let's start posing Chelsea some problems.
Let's go back to Graham for goal news.
Town women 1-up at MK Dons. Wolves lead Tottenham 1-0.
Oh, we feared that might be the case in the car on the way down, Mick, didn't we, that Wolves might well beat Tottenham today?
Yeah, I think Wolves can beat most teams at the moment. They're a good side.
Yeah, they are. Here is Johnson dinking the ball back to Twanzebe. And amongst all of that, some words between Kieran McKenna and the fourth official, Simon Hooper. Kieran unhappy about something or other. Both of them putting their point across. Kieran now back inside his technical area. Throw in for Chelsea. Still goalless, 18 gone. Chelsea forward from Enzo. Chelsea by far the better side in this game, as we probably expected that they would be. Hurst to the halfway line, turns, he's done well. Hurst in the team for Delap this afternoon. He's done very well. He gives it to Johnson inside the area. Johnson into the middle it comes. Alan Cito makes it 1-0. Ipswich Town against the run of play. Score at Stamford Bridge. It's a first goal for the club for Julio Enciso. And it's a real smash and grab from the team staring down the barrel of relegation. It's Chelsea 0, Ipswich Town 1.
Well, what was better about that? We didn't sort of mess around in our own half with the ball. We get the ball up to Hurst. Hurst gets hold of the ball really well. He then comes to the right-hand side. He's now in full control. He's making a strong run. He waits for Ben Johnson to go down the outside, so he does that well. And in the meantime, Enciso is making a run on his left-hand side towards the 6-yard box. Hursty delivers the ball to Johnson perfectly. Johnson gets the ball into the 6-yard box, and then Enciso just nudges it home into the back of the net. Well played, those three players. Nice and fast, nice and direct.
Well done, George Hurst. And so far against the run of play. Well done, Ipswich Town. Their third goal against Chelsea this season. Chelsea have hit the post and been well in control of this game. But the only stat that matters is the scoreline, and it's Ipswich Town who have the upper hand after what, now 20 minutes of this game. Let's see how Chelsea react to that setback. Obviously a long old way to go. To say these players will be fresh as well. Just two survivors from the trip to Poland and the win of Legia Warsaw a few nights ago. So no excuses in terms of that. Colwill back to Tosin, and it was a really good goal as well. Nice to see Enciso break his duck for his loan club. He enjoyed the celebrations as well, the lively Paraguayan striker. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys is ringing around Stamford Bridge. Just when it was looking only like a matter of time that Chelsea would score the opening goal. It's Ipswich Town in pink, as they were when they won at Tottenham earlier on this season. Never lost 5 times in the league season in London. They've lost 4 heading into this game. Here is Colwill. Final trip to the capital as well of 7 this season. Shalabar to the right-hand side, and Enzo coming in field, just coming into the centre circle now, but then checks the number 8, goes back out to the far side, and Nicholas Jackson, the Senegalese striker, just back from an injury actually. Jackson hasn't played a great deal of football in recent weeks. Again, all 10 pinks behind the ball. Chelsea passing it around in front of Ipswich, all the way back now to their goalkeeper Sanchez, as Kieran McKenna applauds. Not that his demeanour has changed one little bit, nor his face, since that goal went in. It's cool as ever. Shalabar to the right, and Enzo over the top down the right hand side. Food and drink for Burgess to deal with. Kayuste can't keep it in. It's a through to Chelsea. Let's see how Ipswich Town, how long they can hold on to this advantage that Enciso has given them.
Well, they've just got to try and make Chelsea have a 10-minute negative spell, and then anything can happen from that moment.
Neto getting frustrated there with the position of Cucurella. Wanted to link up with him down the left-hand side. Still protesting the Portuguese, all not well between that pair. Here is Enzo. Goes the ball down the centre circle to Colwill. Colwill over the top, trying to mix things up. Johnson should win the header against Neto, then has to challenge again. Neto wants it to go up behind for a corner kick. Johnson's trying his best to prevent that, and he's managed to do it. Out for a throw-in to pantomime villain Cucurella. Town substitutes been sent out. Delap, Fullagin and Townsend. It's good that O'Shea has been able to shake off that early twist, which looked ominous. Wolfenden sitting back down on the away bench. Shalabar with his orange boots moves the ball back to the left-hand side. That's near side. Chelsea in all blue, aside from those white socks. Now it's Neto. Town in pink, playing from left to right in this first half, which has reached the midway stage, just a smidgen beyond. Medweke then very wide on the far side, the right, tiptoeing towards Davis, gives it square to Cole Palmer. Palmer crosses into the Ipswich area, straight to his namesake Alex, though. That'll do.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. The cross is a little bit too short to make any sort of threat. The goalkeeper's very, very decisive. But we just got to say, we've got to just try as much as possible to make it a negative 10 minutes for Chelsea, because then they might just start thinking, maybe this is not our day. You know, they've gone 1-0 down, Chelsea, after a bright start. Just make sure that we don't give them anything in the next 10.
Kick from Palmer. Hurst done well again, finds Kayuste. In goes Caicedo on the goal scorer, and Ciso. There's a little pull at Cole Palmer's shirt. Palmer kept his footing though and was able to lay the ball off to Cucurella. Now it's with Tosin. Tosin left-footed, lobs it out to the left side, looking for Neto, it's over the top of him and Kieran McKenna towards one of the microphones stationed pitch side here at Stamford Bridge. Enzo Maresca just having a word with Mark Cucurella in front of us. There is Axel Tuanzebe right next to Kieran McKenna with this throw-in for Ipswich Town. Tuanzebe goes back to O'Shea. O'Shea goes square to Palmer. Oh, that was a bit risky. Palmer's got clipped by Caicedo. Palmer's gone down holding his head. He's done well there, the goalkeeper. He's stayed down, so players had to be brought to a halt, but that was wobbly from Ipswich Town. They were almost embarrassed there.
Yeah, I thought the throw-in was a risky throw-in in the end. Axel Tuanzebe didn't really need to throw the ball infield in that tight situation. Just take your time and look for something a little bit more advantageous, if you like. He just threw a risky ball in. We never dealt with it, lost possession. Well, we didn't lose possession there. We tried to get the ball back to O'Shea, who then tried to use the goalkeeper when the goalkeeper was too close to him.
That was risky.
And then we were in trouble, real trouble.
It was really risky when I saw O'Shea playing that ball to Palmer, who got clipped by the flying knee of Caicedo. Totally accidental, but he did get knocked on the side of his head, so Palmer correctly stayed down. He's been seen to by the Ipswich Town doctor, just checking he's okay. Of course, if there's any thought of concussion, he'd be coming off, but I think he's going to be okay, and I think O'Shea's just apologising for the pass back to him. Ipswich Town lead 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. Julio Enciso with a goal after 19 minutes. A really good goal it was too, aside from a Jack Clark chance early on for Town when he should have done better. It had been pretty much one-way traffic. Chelsea had hit the post well on top, which you kind of expect them to be, but the only goal so far was in the net off to our right-hand side, as Enzo Maresca's made the most of this little break and play to chat to several of his players. Off comes his overcoat. It's a warm afternoon here in West London. Palmer's okay to take this free kick, rolls it short to Burgess. Burgess right-footed, out of play far side. Poor from him. Throw to Chelsea inside the Ipswich half.
I know they're only little things, but that's sort of silly. That for us to, it's our ball, we give a throw in to Chelsea straight away. They now have possession. They're now starting to probe. You know, we just got to be a little bit better than this.
Shalabar, well, at least it's not going to be 7-0 this afternoon. Enzo puts a ball into the Ipswich area for Jackson down the right channel. Across goes O'Shea. More good work from him. It's another corner to Chelsea, their fourth after 27 minutes of this Premier League game on BBC Radio Suffolk. 1-0 they trail though. Corner kick to Chelsea. Neto to take it over in the far left corner. Then he plays forward for Chelsea as they try to get a leveller in this match. Town ahead. Neto, one hand in the air. In comes the corner kick towards Tosin, headed away eventually by Clark of Ipswich, nodded down by Enzo as far as Cole Palmer. He dabs it out to the right hand side. Neto having a little run at Davis, step over, in comes his right-footed cross, headed away this time by Hurst. All hands on deck for Ipswich Town. Cole Palmer knocks it into the Ipswich area towards the far stick. Colwill, good defending from Johnson, kept his eye on his man, and the ball's come off of Colwill last. Goal kick to Town. Let's go back to Graham.
Ipswich Town women doing their bit. 3-0 up already away at MK Dons, and Liverpool lead West Ham 1-0.
Just got to hope now that Exeter do Ipswich Town. The women a favour against #United. Ipswich Town women clearly going to go on and win that game against MK Dons and beat them probably heavily for the third time this season. Remember, the # game kicks off at 3, so as Graham was saying earlier on, we'll have news of that just before off air at 5 on match day. Cole Palmer's gone down in a challenge against Morsey. The referee says play on. It's Enciso who had a rush of blood to the head and dragged his shot wide from all of 30 yards when he could have put others into play.
Not a free kick against Sam Morsey. He did well. He just held himself strong. It was a mistake by Carl Palmer, but again we've gone long from the goalkeeper. Just one little loose ball comes back down in the midfield. We seize upon it, and then Ciso, although I think he's wrong to take a strike from 30 yards, he could have developed play a bit more. We've got a shot on goal, you know, from perhaps 3 touches of the ball, 3 different players: goalkeeper, Morsey and Ciso.
Sounds that one or two fans are starting to have a moan about the home team, which will do nicely. Morsey beats Cole Palmer to the ball. Enciso moves it on to Kayuste outside the Chelsea area. Might fancy a go. He does. Oh, and he's not far away either. Sanchez scampering across to his left-hand side. It was a decent effort from the Swede.
It was a good effort. He's trying to pick a spot to the goalkeeper's left-hand side, and he seriously wasn't very far away. He had great control of the ball. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. This is the negative period I was talking about. Crowd are going mad. They don't like what's happening. They're losing 1-0. There's a little bit of a threat on the Chelsea goal that maybe Ipswich could take it to 2-0. They're having a go at their team. Their team might respond in a bad way.
That's good effort from Kayuste. Definitely fans unhappy. Not the 3,000 travelling. Great header on from Hurst to Clark. Hurst's having a good game. Clark, edge of the area, checks in field, gives it to Enciso. Enciso dinks it towards the far stick. Johnson! 2-0 Ipswich Town! Ben Johnson heads it back into the corner. It's now his first goal for Ipswich Town, and what a scoreline at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 0, Ipswich Town 2.
I'll tell you what, it just shows you.
Flag's gone up.
They're giving it offside.
The flag's eventually gone up, the celebrations die a death, and Chelsea have got away with one there. That would have been a lovely goal from Ipswich Town's perspective. Sadly, it's still 1-0 Ipswich.
Is this not a VAR or what?
We can't see.
I'll tell you what, that was a fantastic diagonal run from the centre to the left by Enciso to make that all a possibility. Clark was coming in, searching for a shot. Enciso made it. He's not offside, by the way. He waited for. He's looking for a shot. Clark. Enciso's run is brilliant, unselfish. He then plays the ball.
They are doing a VAR check, but he looked a mile onside to me.
He looked fractionally onside to me. It was a terrific run by Enciso. It really was.
It's definitely offside as the what they're checking for, nothing else, no other infringement. We can't see the screens from a very low position here, but it's come up on one of the little screens in front of us to explain that that's why the pause in play. So we're just waiting to see. I mean, there was a late flag that went up on this near side.
Is it the ball from Clark to Enciso that they're questioning, or is it the cross to Johnson?
It's been given. Ipswich Town lead 2-0 at Chelsea, and the massive smile returns to the face of Ben Johnson. He's got his first Ipswich Town goal, and what a place to get it, and what a scoreline this is. Ipswich Town in dreamland.
Yeah, well done, lads, well done. They've got reward from being disciplined for 10 minutes, not playing stupidly at the back, just getting the ball forward, playing a bit quicker, posing Chelsea a few problems, and Chelsea have not responded to those problems, and the crowd started to get onto them, and they are starting to look a poor side.
It's the ball to Enciso, because I was looking at it, I was thinking, well, Johnson's a mile onside. It was Clark to Enciso is what they were looking at, and it was marginal, but you could see that it was onside.
It's a wonderful run.
Just ridiculous how long it took for the flag to go up on this near side, because the celebrations were 5-6 seconds old before the flag went up, bearing in mind there had been even earlier that ball that was being questioned in the end. But well done, Ben Johnson. So two first-time scorers for Town, Enciso and Johnson. Town 13-1 they were to win this game. They lead Chelsea by 2-0. It has to be said, of course, Crystal Palace led Manchester City 2-0 yesterday before they were steamrollered, albeit City were level at half-time. So Chelsea have got to get on their bike. Hurst, who's done well, involved in both of these goals for Ipswich Town. He'd be an unsung hero, but it has to be remembered that he did play a part in both of them. But lovely ball from Enciso for Johnson to head in as Chelsea. Let's see how they react to it, because the crowd will be ready to go again at them if they don't see some positivity for the men in blue. Unbelievable scoreline, though, given the way that Chelsea was so much in command. Cole Palmer to the right-hand side, Madueke. We've got a game on our hands on BBC Radio Suffolk. Madueke to Enzo inside the area, trying to get Madueke there. Good defending from Davis. Gives it to Kayuste. Clark brings it away for Town. Goes infield, then switches to this right-hand side, and Johnson. Cucurella wins a comfortable header. Up goes Johnson again. Ball out of play for a throw into Chelsea. Urged on by a smattering of their fans close to us here at Stamford Bridge. Terrific stuff from Ipswich Town.
They're certainly not a very patient crowd, are they?
No, they're certainly not. Expecting a lot better as Ipswich Town chase this Incredible double it would be, but still a long way to go. Enzo infield to Caicedo. But you also get the feeling that Town could maybe hurt them again on the break, Chelsea, at some stage. Free kick. Well, value for money for those supporters that have travelled for this one so far. Chelsea on the left-hand side with Colwill deep inside the Ipswich half. Colwill gets it back from Neto, square to Cole Palmer. Lots of players back, all of them in fact, for Ipswich Town behind the ball, doing a good defensive job. Here's Cole Palmer again, left-footed square to Colwill. Colwill looks up into the Ipswich area. Jackson under pressure from Burgess, couldn't get enough on the header. In terms of pace or direct, it's Cole out behind for Alex Palmer goal kick.
Yeah, it's a really good result. This a great position to be in, and if we can just make sure we don't do anything stupid, you know, we can sort of play a little bit more comfortably now. You know, I'm glad to see we're going a bit longer too. Not at the moment, we're not.
10 minutes to go until half-time. McMills alongside me at Stamford Bridge for this game. Ipswich Town are leading by 2-0. Tyreek George and Jadon Sancho might be getting sent out off the Chelsea bench down below. It's George with his first senior goal for the club in Poland on Thursday night. Sancho on loan from Manchester United. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, one of the stars of Leicester's promotion success last season, is also going out for a little limber up as Burgess smacks the spinning ball out far side for a throw to Chelsea. Shalabar gets it back to Tosin. Now just do with Tottenham doing Ipswich Town a favourite. Molyneux. Enzo, long crossfield ball looking for Neto. Neto inside the Ipswich Town area, held up by Twanzebe just outside the box, the number 7. He pulls it back to Cole Palmer. Palmer, little ball into the box. Cucurella's in round the back. Town player stumbles. Cucurella has it by the byline. It was Johnson who tumbled. Another corner kick off of him. Fifth of the half to Chelsea.
We got off away with one there. Johnson fell over and Cucurella should have punished him for it, but he didn't. He won a corner, but he could have done better than that.
Enzo in front of the travelling Ipswich Town supporters, all of them with broad smiles on their faces. 2-0 Town lead. Cole Palmer wide left outside the Ipswich area up against Jack Clark, back defending for Town, puts it through the legs of Clark. Cucurella inside the box with a pullback, chance for Madueke, who puts it miles wide, and Enzo Maresca kicks a water bottle down in front of us with a bit more accuracy.
Yeah, very good work down the left hand side. The nutmegs from Cole Palmer was really, really good. Put Cucurella into a wonderful position, and he actually has set the shot up, but it's a wild shot.
Palmer with this goal kick for Ipswich Town, 8 minutes away, plus a bit of added on time for the injury to Cucurella and then the VAR from a half-time lead. 2-0 at the moment. Possibly here Kieran McKenna's claps in the background. We're quite close, probably as close to the dugouts as we are at any Premier League ground. Again, McKenna very visibly agitated while he speaks to the fourth assistant. Yeah, still chatting to him down in front of us, the fourth official, Simon Hooper. Getting right old ear bashing from Kieran McKenna still. The two of them had a few chats with one another in this first half. It still goes on. Play continues now with Jackson rising on halfway. O'Shea's over the top of him. Kayuste with an important header onto Enciso. Scooped away by the right instep of Shalabar. Ipswich get the ball back again with Clark, but it breaks nicely for Cole Palmer. Palmer deep inside his half. Palmer left-footed, trying to get Neto in behind. Brilliant ball from Palmer. Neto into the middle, a chance for Chelsea. Cucurella to his right hand side, Madueke, and he goes down in the box. What's been given here? He's appealing for a penalty. The referee hasn't given it yet. Play continues, the ball on halfway. It comes off Colwill. And it's given as a free kick to Ipswich Town, which Enciso celebrates almost as much as he did those 2 goals.
Oh, that was a scary moment. It really was. Mistake down this side. Goalkeeper thought he could come all the way and clear it. Decided when he got halfway he couldn't do it. Started to backtrack, and when that happens you think we're in trouble.
It's a free kick at the moment as we just look back at that. Well,
probably got a foot to the ball.
As far as we know, there's no VAR check on the penalty.
Strong foot to the ball.
Free kick, which Ipswich Town are taken on the halfway line.
I think I could be a VAR man, really.
You'd be very good.
Pretty decisive.
It's a way of staying in the Premier League next season, perhaps, for you.
Yeah, I better apply for a job.
Free kick on halfway, which Morsey has taken for Town. They lead 2-0 at Chelsea. Daggling out to the far side, great header by Burgess, looking towards Hurst on the edge of the box, cleared away by Chelsea. Cole Palmer lifts it away from Enciso, picked up by Morsey. Morsey turns, trying to get away from Cole Palmer. Enciso down the line, gives it to Ben Johnson, the 2 goal scorers linking up. Johnson's done well down that right against Cucurella. Cucurella's taking the final touch, he'll have to turn and play it off Johnson, which he does. Out for a throw-in to the Spaniard. 40 minutes played, Town 2-0 ahead. Enciso and Johnson, both good goals as well. Well worked by Ipswich Town. Cucurella under the Frank Lampard banner, Super Frankie. Matthew Harding's blue and white army. We can also see up to our right hand side Didier Drogba, the big man for the big occasion. He certainly was the Ivorian striker. What a player he was for Jose Mourinho in his time here. Sanchez, the goalkeeper, goes out towards Enzo, and he was being closed down. Chelsea fans no doubt a little bit of a panic there. Enzo to Caicedo in midfield, crossing halfway in a little bit of space. Palmer seen a bit more of the ball for Chelsea. Out to the left-hand side, Neto, one-on-one with Johnson back defending. Neto, edge of the area, still has it. Palmer wants it to his left, he's given it to the number 20. Palmer's first time cross into the centres, headed away by Twanzebe to the edge of the box. Enciso battling with Neto. Neto just gets the ball back to Caicedo. Wanted by so many clubs, Caicedo, when he arrived at Chelsea. Bit of a slow burn his career initially, but a fixture in the side. He and Enzo are first choice in midfield for Chelsea. Chelsea on the right with Enzo. He gives it to Madueke up against Davis. Davis keeping his eye on the ball. Madueke runs at him, goes through the gears. Lovely burst into the centre. It comes headed away by Burgess out as far as Caicedo. Seemed to lose the ball between his feet, but somehow got it back to Tosin. Chalobah helps it out to Enzo. Enzo crosses into the Ipswich area, but straight at Palmer. Town still lead 2-0.
Yeah, good. You know, we're just Chelsea are not quite as good as they were when they started the game, and this is exactly what we've got to keep the game going to half-time. We've got to be as good as them. We mustn't give anything away, and I'm glad the goalkeeper again is going to go long, and we can pick up the pieces from his ball.
Long way to go, but this would be a ridiculous win for Ipswich Town, all things considered, if they can hold on. Tosin intercepted though by Kayuste. Town lose the ball in midfield. Enzo to Cole Palmer. This could be a real threat to Ipswich Town's clean sheet. Palmer, edge of the area, still has it. The Chelsea playmaker into the box, but behind Enzo, and back come the pink shirts. That moment in particular is gone for Chelsea. Can they rebuild again? Back it goes to Chalobah, far side square infield to Madueke. He gives it to Cole Palmer. Palmer shoots, good block by Morsey. Comes out as far as Neto, down the left channel, just outside the area. Shapes to cross, still has it up against Johnson. Hangs the ball towards the far stick. Headed down by Chalobah, cleared up by Enciso, not far away. Sorry, it was cleared away by Clark. Chelsea win it back. 42 minutes played in this first half. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Ipswich Town winning 2-0. At Chelsea. Neto on the left for the West Londoners. Step over against Johnson, wants to take him on, gets inside the area, but the ball runs towards Twanzebe, who just clatters it high into the standoff to our left. Chelsea throw. Cucurella takes it, doing everything really briskly at the moment. Chelsea desperate to get a goal on the scoreboard before half-time if they possibly can. Caicedo to the right-hand side, Madueke up against Davis. Madueke on his left foot, thought about crossing, still has it though, still wanting to take on Davis. Into the box, Madueke eventually gets in, took a deflection, simple for Palmer to catch.
Yeah, it's good play. I just think that Leif Davis is not playing badly, but I think that we've got to give him some backup whenever the wide right Mudeko actually gets possession. He's quick and he's very, very skillful as well. I just think on occasions like that we've got to get at least one more body out there.
McMills watching Town leading 2-0 at Chelsea. Caicedo to Cucurella. Cucurella over the top of Jackson. Needless to say, Chelsea have got a lot of talent on the bench if things are changed in the second half. A lot of talent still out there on the field. Here is Cole Palmer, a relative slip at 42.5 million when he joined them. Palmer gives it to Enzo. Enzo's drifted down that far side, the right, gives it back to Madueke. Infield to Chalobah, back to Enzo on the far touchline. Argentinian pulls the ball square to Tosin. Jigs away from Enciso, fourth official about to tell us how much added on time there is at the end of the first half. Enzo trying to control things for Chelsea. Seen a fair bit of the ball, lifts the ball onto the chest of Colwill, the number 6, looks up, doesn't play it into the area, gives it to Neto instead. Out and out winger, the number 7, goes back to Colwill, 30 yards from the town goal, into the D edge of the area to Caicedo. Good block by Cayuste as he pulled the trigger, and it goes to Shalabar. Town just packing that defensive third off to our left with pink shirts. Now it's with the 4, Tosin, Colwill to the left-hand side, Neto up against Johnson, helping out at right back next to Twanzebe. Chelsea get the ball back to Colwill. First time cross in the middle, headed away by O'Shea. Out as far as Caicedo. He has a go, and it's wide. Alex Palmer watched it go past his right post.
Yeah, just watching when they get this 1v1 down the left-hand side with Neto against Johnson, and then Ciso is quite close, but I'm thinking, go on, get closer until you can say, Ben, I've got the inside, you have the outside. It's very, very important you do that, you know, otherwise 1-to-1, Neto might just take Johnson down the outside.
4 minutes of added on time, which we've just got into. Of course, 13 of Town's 20 points have come from away games this season. 3 of their 4 wins on their travels. Tottenham, Wolves, and of course Bournemouth. This, though, with all due respect to other clubs, would be the shining light of their season to date if they could pull off this one. It's a pity they didn't have more away games than home games. Chelsea still incredibly the only team they've beaten at Portman Road all season. Ball's out far side, a little bit scrappy from Town. Kieran McKenna scratches at his face in disbelief and frustration. His side though lead 2-0. Enzo driving into midfield before going square to Colwill. Now Neto one-on-one with Johnson. Good defending again from the goal scorer, although it's come off him. Now Chelsea have a 6th corner in this first half.
Yeah, he did well there, Ben Johnson. He's really sort of he's actually the one that's doing all the marking on Neto, because Cucurella is making runs infield and occupying Twanzebe.
Corner kick to Chelsea. Enzo to take it in front of the Town supporters towards the far post. Double-fisted punch away from Palmer, and it goes on the far side. 90 seconds into the added on 4 minutes. So still plenty time for Chelsea to get a goal in this first half. Shalabar, chance to cross into the Ipswich area. In the ball comes over the top of Cucurella, headed down by Twanzebe. It's Cole Palmer just outside the box, flanked by Morsey. Gives it to the left-hand side, Neto. Neto's crossed towards the far stick, just too high for Madueke. Grazes the top of his head. Shalabar in a right wing position at the moment, into the box to Madueke, blocked off by Cayuste. Good work from Ipswich Town. Chelsea win it back. On the right-hand side, Shalabar's cross is deflected, loops up in the air, headed away by Burgess. From Davis, now the header, and the referee blows his whistle for a foul on Burgess. That will do nicely. Free kick Ipswich Town at the end of this first half.
Yeah, that's good. You know, we're actually playing very, very sensible sort of football at the moment. We're packing ourselves defensively, not giving Chelsea any room at all. They get a little bit of freedom when they come out wide, but as long as we do a job on those balls that go out wide, when the crosses are coming in, we've got lots of players that can deal with those crosses. There's no problem, and in attack we're looking positive, and we look as if we are troubling Chelsea.
2-0 at Portman Road at Christmas, 2-0 at Stamford Bridge approaching Easter. And I've enjoyed playing Chelsea so far this season. There is Colwill, disguised on the ball, going square to Tosin. I would imagine there's going to be an almighty reaction from Chelsea at the start of the second half. Enzo forward to Jackson, flag stays down. Jackson tries to put it over the top of Palmer. He saw him well off his line. It was worth a go, but he was inaccurate with the effort, and it was high over the bar. Yeah, it's worth an effort because of the goalkeeper's position. He didn't have much room to work in. We had 3 Town players all around him, so I think as soon as he's seen Palmer's position, he thought, well, that's not the correct position, I'll have a go, but it wasn't a particularly good go. We're going long from the goalkeeper again. I prefer this way of playing, you know, when you're playing a good side. Wins for Manchester City, Everton incredibly at Forest yesterday, and Villa relegated Southampton in the Premier League. Town leading this game by 2-0. Leicester picked up a point against Brighton in a 2-2 draw. Long punt forward from Chelsea. O'Shea wins the first header, then the second one. And that's it for the first half. And a very profitable first half it's been for Kieran McKenna's Ipswich Town, as the home side are booed off. Ipswich Town lead this game by 2-0. First goals for the club. What a moment they've picked from Julio Enciso and Ben Johnson.
Yeah, this has been a good performance in the end from what was a very, very difficult start, and it was, I just felt the opening sort of 5 minutes was end to end. Both teams looked settled. Both teams looked as if they were going to sort of ease into a good game, but then Chelsea took over, and the sort of 5 minutes following, I didn't really like very much. It was all Chelsea. They were dominating us in possession. Even when we won back the ball, we were giving it away badly in some very dangerous areas, and it looked as if any minute it would be costly. It looked very much as if Chelsea would take the lead, but then all of a sudden we sort of we got ourselves a really sort of positive move down the right-hand side. It involved 3 players. They all did exceptionally well, whether it was with a pass, whether it was with a cross or finish, and we go 1-0 in front. And then I just kept repeating myself that if we can have 10 good minutes and just frustrate Chelsea a little bit, anything can happen. And we were managing to do that nicely, and it looked as if that frustration was beginning to creep in when, ironically, we got ourselves a second goal. Definitely onside, and Julio Enciso scored the first one, and he made the second one. His run from the centre of the field, from about sort of maybe 30 yards from goals, on a sort of a diagonal, a very sort of sharp diagonal to the far side. Clark was running the ball infield, searching for a shot, couldn't see one, but because Enciso has now made that determined to run to sort of fill the space that Clark's pretty much vacated, he then allowed Clark to change his mind. I can't shoot, I'll put Enciso in, and he did that. He found him, his cross finds Ben Johnson making a terrific run into the back post, 2-0 ahead. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't just Chelsea, the team Chelsea changing, the crowd changed. They started to get onto their own team, their own players, and from that moment onwards, I thought we looked more and more secure. There's only one area, 2 areas. It's in the full-back position that I'm quite worried about. I don't think Leif Davis is getting enough support on a one-to-one with Manduke over on that far side. When Neto gets possession this side, Ben Johnson's having to do the full-back job on him defensively, because Cucurella makes a run from left-back to almost like a centre-forward position, if you like, and Chuanzebe has to go in and mark him. So Ben Johnson ends up 1-to-1, and I think that the nearest player to him ends up as being Julio Enciso. I think it's unnatural for him, but I think Kieran McKenna should just tell him, hey, 10 yards away from Ben Johnson is not good enough. You've got to get within 3 yards of him. That's the support I want defensively, and if you do it right through the game, you'll get a reward, because you'll find that Chelsea won't score. It's important. 2 wide areas. Tighten up in those areas, and I think we can go on and get a result.
Fingers crossed, and what a result that would be. So far, so good, though, at Stamford Bridge this Sunday afternoon. Ipswich Town leading Chelsea at half-time by 2-0.
Sadly, it's the same scoreline at Molineux in favour of Wolves, who lead Tottenham 2-0. The leaders Liverpool 1-0 up at home to West Ham. Elsewhere, and what a half of football at Stamford Bridge. What a half of football at Stadium MK, where Ipswich Town women are 5-0 up this afternoon at half-time. A couple of goals inside the opening 20 minutes from Natasha Thomas, and then a hat-trick from Sophie Peskett. Town women win today, and it's all but done in terms of wrapping up the Southern Premier League title and promotion to the Championship. It will be officially done if #United drop points against Exeter in the 3 o'clock kickoff. But that's a wonderful scoreline. MK Dons 0, Ipswich Town women 5. There's a Women's FA Cup semi-final today as well, kicking off at 3 o'clock. Manchester City versus Manchester United. The winners will face Chelsea in the final. We'll have some non-league football. We'll have a little bit of F1 and a little bit of golf to come in our half-time report.
With BBC Sounds, you're in control.
Good morning.
Let's get talking about it then.
I've got you intrigued, haven't I?
Volume up.
Ooh, that's a bit loud, isn't it?
Volume down.
I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
You see? You're in control.
With the latest BBC News.
Stop.
Oi! I was listening to that.
Play.
Finally, a pet cat which went missing from...
Rewind. Fast forward.
Finally, a pet cat which went missing from Donington in County Durham 4 months.
Hello, can you hear me?
Take control with BBC Sounds.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Suffolk.
Chelsea 0, Ipswich Town 2 in our main feature this afternoon. First half goals from Julio Enciso and Ben Johnson. We'll bring you those before we rejoin Mick Mills and Brenna Woolley for the second half. The 4:30 kick-off in the Premier League today sees League Cup winners and Champions League chasing Newcastle United at home to Manchester United. Magpies assistant manager Jason Tindall says consistency will be the key to the closing stages of the season if the Magpies are to achieve top four. No Eddie Howe alongside Tindall in the dugout today. Howe was recently taken into hospital after feeling unwell for several days.
It's really tight, and as we know, to try and get 3 points in the Premier League is incredibly difficult, and you have to be at your best and you have to be at the top of your game, and all we can do is go and give the best account of ourselves, and hopefully that's good enough to get the 3 points, and if we can continue that way, then hopefully that'll be enough to achieve our end goal.
Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim says he can't rotate his team heavily in today's match despite the coming week's European tie against Lyon. Even so, Amorim has left out goalkeeper Andre Onana for the trip to St James's Park.
We don't have a team that is really big to do that, and then we have some players that I know that cannot make like 90 minutes in this moment. Still, we have to be careful in the game against Newcastle, but we have a great responsibility when we play any game.
We heard from Lowestoft Town manager Andy Reynolds during the opening hour of the programme. The Trawler Boys' relegation from the Southern Premier League Central Division was confirmed yesterday following their 3-2 defeat at home to promotion-chasing Bedford Town. It's been a relegation battle this season as well for Needham Market in the National League North, and while it's one they look set to lose, they did keep their faint hopes alive yesterday thanks to a 1-0 win at home to Rushall Olympic. The Needham boss Tom Rothery, who agreed a new 2-year deal with the club last week, spoke with Stephen Foster at full-time.
Every odd's against us, I think, but we've just got to keep battling and keep fighting and keep it alive as long as we can, and if we do end up getting relegated, I'd rather get relegated, winning games, basically.
It was a game of two halves, to use the old cliche. The first half, forgettable for me. What about you?
Yeah, I just think we're at that stage of the season where there's a lot of pressure on teams, and Ken's done really well with the pitch, to get it to where it is now, but it's still really bobbly, and obviously it's a real stiff breeze again today, so it makes it really difficult to play as much as you want to, and it does then come down to sort of first and second balls and a bit of fight football really, and that's what we said at half time before the game. It's important that we do all that ugly stuff really, and that's what's pleased me the most really. As much as all of us want to turn up and play like a Man City or a Liverpool, the reality is you're not going to do that every game of the season, and a lot of the times to be successful you need to show a lot of fight and character, and I think we've done that in abundance today.
A great team performance in the second half and keeps you in the fight, but on Tuesday of course there is a game that could send you down.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, we can only control what we can control. So, like I said to the players before the game, if we end up going down, I want us going down in these last 4 games. Trying to win all 4 games. Simple as that. As it's important. We're trying to build momentum for next season, regardless of what division we're in, and it's about having pride and. And I think the lads have shown that all season. I think anyone that's been to the games, we could have gone under many times this season, and we've shown a lot of character, a lot of resilience, because it has been a really tough season. But I think there's still a lot of positivity around the club, so that is testament to the players of and the character they've shown throughout the season. I think
you'll be glad when the season's over, I should think.
I will a little bit, yeah. It has been tough, the travel has been probably even tougher than I anticipated, if I'm honest. We've all got a map, but actually doing the travel itself is really tough. Look, it's been tough. We've had changes, obviously Kev leaving, but as a group, the players have stayed together all season, and I do think they should be really proud of that, and I'm certainly proud of that, and I think that stands us in good stead going forward, I think.
And the fans today, it was all very subdued for about an hour or so, and then suddenly the place came alive.
Yeah, I think he's a little, like I said, because the game's a bit scrappy. Is it the supporters that get you going, or the players that get the supporters going? It's probably a little bit of both, isn't it? But look, supporters have been brilliant this season. They've travelled far and wide and supported us in good numbers and stayed behind us, and that's really important because, like I said, we've obviously lost more games than we're used to losing, and they've stuck with us throughout it. And if we're going to achieve anything going forward, we need them going forward as well.
And they're now enjoying a Saturday night, which perhaps they didn't think they would be.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, I can enjoy a Saturday night now, watch the Masters and feel a little bit more content with the world. But yeah, look, that's that. Every time you turn up, whether it's home or away, you want to make the supporters happy, and and the players obviously try and do their best every game. And when it ends in a victory, and obviously we haven't been relegated, so it delays that, and everyone can be sort of happy with the win and the performance, I think.
But as you say, whatever division you're in next season, you've got to hit the ground running, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%. Look, I'm one of the most negative people in the world, but when it comes to football, I'm really positive. I really believe in the players that we've got. Obviously, there'll be changes in the summers. That's usual. But look, I'm really positive. I feel whatever division we're in, we'll have a good season next year. I'm really sort of upbeat about that, and I feel really energised about that. So, as much as I want this season to end, probably because it has been a tough one, I'm also looking forward to what the future brings, and I'm really positive about that.
Needham Market boss Tom Rothery with Stephen Foster after yesterday's 1-0 win at home to Rushall Olympic. Chelsea 0 Ipswich Town 2 in our main feature. Second half getting underway shortly. We'll bring you the first half goals in a moment. Golf just quickly. Rory McIlroy has a 2-shot lead going into the final round of the Masters. He's 12 under par. He begins his fourth round at 7:30 our time and will complete his collection of major titles if he wins the green jacket. So how will he approach today?
I just have to approach it like I've approached the last 3 days. This is it's a treacherous golf course. You have to have your wits about you every single shot that you play, and I can't get caught thinking about anything else apart from what I'm doing and trying to control each moment that is in front of me. And if I can control those moments well, and if I can handle myself and go through the right thought processes, hopefully that all adds up to a good outcome at the end.
In Formula 1, McLaren's Oscar Piastri is on pole position for this afternoon's Bahrain Grand Prix. England's George Russell second for Mercedes. But does he believe they can challenge McLaren today after their excellent performance in qualifying?
Got to be honest, I think the strides were being made with the nighttime coming in and the track temperature getting a little bit cooler. We saw at practice 3 when it was roasting hot, the McLarens were down the road. And now as this session unfolded, we just seem to get quicker and quicker. But I think being realistic, it'll be a challenge to fight with Oscar.
The race starts at 4 in Bahrain. We're on air till 5 o'clock with match day. The second half from Stamford Bridge is next.
On the right, it's Madueke overlapping Enzo. Into the centre comes the ball. Chance for Chelsea off the post from Jackson. Ipswich Town got away with that. Cleared by Kayuste. And out on the far side, it's still 0-0. Madueke, chance to cross into the Ipswich Town area. It's travelled a long way, free header. Good save by Palmer. Really good save. And then Cole Palmer might get a chance. No, Town get it away, not for very long. Chelsea win it back just outside the box. Cole Palmer for Chelsea gives it to Cucurella, who shoots, gets underneath it, and it's high into the crowd. Another chance that Chelsea have not made the most of, thankfully. Hurst in the team for Delap this afternoon. He's done very well. He gives it to Johnson inside the area. Johnson into the middle, it comes! Alan Cito makes it 1-0! Ipswich Town against the run of play, score at Stamford Bridge! It's a first goal for the club for Julio Enciso, and it's a real smash and grab from the team staring down the barrel of relegation. It's Chelsea 0, Ipswich Town 1. Morsey beats Cole Palmer to the ball. Enciso moves it on to Kayuste outside the Chelsea area. Might fancy a go. He does. Oh, and he's not far away either. Sanchez scampering across to his left-hand side. It was a decent effort from the Swede. Great header on from Hurst to Clark. Hurst's having a good game. Clark, edge of the area, checks in field, gives it to Enciso. Enciso dinks it towards the far stick. Johnson! 2-0 Ipswich Town! Ben Johnson heads it back into the corner. It's now his first goal for Ipswich Town, and what a scoreline at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 0, Ipswich Town 2.
Yeah, brilliant first half live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Let's get back to Stamford Bridge. We can rejoin Mick Mills and Brenna Woolley.
Chelsea have been out ages. Obviously a flea in their collective ear from manager Enzo Maresca. Town finally coming out of the tunnel. Chelsea making one change at half-time. Tosin, the centre-half, has gone off. Chalobah will play there in the second half because Gusto, the Italian, has gone to right back. Town, no surprise, as they were at 1 o'clock. Palmer in the goal off to our right. Town in pink, incidentally, is back for Twanzebe, O'Shea, Burgess and Davis. Then you've got the two of Morsey and Kiyuste, the three of Johnson, a goal scorer, and Ciso, a goal scorer, and Jack Clark up top. Hurst on the bench, Walton, Broadhead, Chaplin, Taylor, Townsend, Delap, Wolfenden and Philogene Luongo. Chelsea have Sanchez in the goal off to our left in all black. His back fours now Gusto, Chalobah, Colwill, Cucurella, then Caicedo and Fernandez, or Enzo as he's known, the captain in midfield. And it's Madueke, Palmer, Neto and Jackson is their striker. On the bench, Jorgensen, Achimpong, Badiashile, James, Dewsbury Hall, George, Sancho and Nkunku. Chelsea in blue shirts, blue shorts, white socks, getting the second half underway. Straight back to the shaven-headed Sanchez. Town, as I say, in all pink, aside from Palmer, who's in yellow. And Palmer's in the goal off to our right-hand side. Chelsea trying to get back into this game as early as they possibly can in the second half. Madueke taking on Burgess, beating him. Gets the byline, into the middle, it comes Chelsea, score! Chelsea have scored 20 seconds into the second half. The perfect start to the second period for the West Londoners. Just what Enzo Maresca was desperate to see, what Kieran McKenna certainly didn't want to see. It's now Chelsea 1, Ipswich Town 2. I don't think Town have touched the ball since half-time.
Well, it's a crazy goal. Cameron Burgess is heavily involved. He has one chance to head the ball away, a long ball in. He does that one. Second ball comes in. He doesn't actually manage to get to the ball, which is not his fault. But he's then left 1-to-1 on the outside. And he gets pretty much slaughtered down the outside. No support. That's what it's all about. No support on wide areas.
Cucurella with the goal for Chelsea. Scored more goals than anybody for them in the Premier League since Christmas. Goals have been a problem. They've been keeping clean sheets, very tight at the back, but haven't been scoring too many. Ipswich Town within Ciso behind Johnson, blocked off by Neto. Totally different complexion to this game. Hundreds of supporters missed that goal. Oh, O'Shea's bundled to the ground. That's a poor challenge by Jackson on O'Shea. Luckily, O'Shea's such a good character. He's not going to make more of it. The Senegalese has stayed on the deck. It's a free kick against them. Still fans heading back. They'll know that their team has got a foothold in this match, but they totally missed that goal. I didn't even have time to ask the obvious question, Mick, in terms of how important is the next 10 or 15 minutes going to be when Chelsea had already scored?
Vitally important, because these little incidents in games give one team a lift, another team will naturally feel dejected, but you mustn't let it happen. You've got to make sure that the next 10 minutes is at worst level.
Twanzebe, far side for Ipswich Town, there right, forced back to the halfway line. Real test for Ipswich Town this now. There's Burgess, good ball into midfield to Clark, closed down by two very good midfielders. He's still come away with the ball. Well done, Jack Clark. Now Kiyuste turns, gets away from Caicedo. Burgess bangs the ball forward long. Cucurella, that's his 6th goal of the season for the £60 million left back. On the far side, Twanzebe. I noticed Ciso and Caicedo have a little Brighton reunion as they walked off chatting down the tunnel just to our left. O'Shea up towards Ciso. Nice control of the outside of his right boot. Gives it to Johnson. Infield to Kiyuste. Nice play this from Ipswich. Blocked off though by Colwill. Down goes Enzo. Referee plays another good advantage. Up to halfway, Chelsea have got the ball with Cole Palmer. Palmer running with the ball. So easy on the eye to watch Palmer. Here he is again. What a talent, trying to take on Twanzebe. Twanzebe's defended him well. Well done by the big man. Number 40 holding off the number 20. Given away by Ipswich Town. Chelsea inside the box. Neto into the middle, deflected. Headed away by Davis. Out as far as Gusto. No idea at all what the final score is going to be in this game, nor which side is going to win it. Caicedo, Gusto. Available on the right, Madueke, who made the goal from Chelsea's perspective. Now trying to do the same against Davis. Madueke gives the ball back to Gusto. The half-time sub closed down effectively by Clark. Flicked away by Ciso. One by Colwill, who strikes. It was driven low. Comes off Cole Palmer. Out to Neto. Neto down the left-hand side to Colwill. Deep cross from the centre-half. Way too much on it. That'll do. Thrown it left back to Ipswich Town as Madueke tries to lift the home crowd somewhat.
Yeah, and again, that was there was a possibility of a 1-to-1 on our left back again, and and I was looking at Jack Clark. He's 10 yards away. I'm thinking, Jack, get to within 3 or 4 yards and talk. You know, otherwise it's no good. 10 yards is no good to anybody.
Now down to the halfway line. Chelsea get it back towards Sanchez. If Wolves win and Town somehow manage to lose here, Town could be relegated as early as next weekend, incidentally, against Arsenal. Neto trying to get away from Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe sticks with him, stride for stride. Good pace shown by the Town defender. Neto gives it back to Cucurella. It's a really good game to watch. Caicedo, little ball into the area, good ball as well. Cole Palmer still has the ball, still Cole Palmer. What a run, but Tuanzebe's going to hold him up. Tries to see the ball out behind for a goal kick. Tuanzebe's defended well. But Ipswich Town really are wobbling at the moment under all sorts of pressure from this Chelsea side that must have come out at least 3 or 4 minutes earlier than Town. They had a very short half-time, these Chelsea players. Clearly very simple, the message from Enzo Maresca. I think it's actually raining here at Stamford Bridge. Haven't seen rain for weeks. Here is Chalobah, back in his natural home of centre-half, playing it forward to Madueke in a challenge with Davis. The ball goes out of play for a corner kick to Chelsea. Normal service has been resumed. That's their 7th of this game, 6 in the first half.
Yeah, we've got to really make sure we don't concede another goal. You know, we're going to have to really seriously have a good sort of spell. We really are.
It's going to take some effort for Ipswich Town to get something from this game, the way it's going at the moment. All the momentum with the home side. Neto on this corner kick for Chelsea. All eyes on the penalty area off to our right. 9 pink shirts are in it. Now a 10th as Jack Clark backpedals. Neto hangs the corner kick towards the far post, headed away by O'Shea. So strong aerially. And as far as Moises Caicedo. Infield he gives it to Gusto. His ponytail. Now it's with Enzo. Enzo across the deck to the right-hand side. Neto up against Davis. Neto crosses into the Ipswich area, headed away, crouching down, possibly by Morsey in there. There's a line of pink shirts. Palmer passes to the right, and Neto one-on-one with Davis. Numerous touches. Neto's cross high to the far stick. Colwell heads it back into the middle, but it's gone out behind off a Chelsea player. Goal kick, Palmer.
Yeah, serious sort of moments in this game, really. You know, we really should never have sort of conceded so early in the second half. That's caused all the problems in the world, you know, and this is a vital period of the game.
Town played it out from the back. Burgess just bending it away from Madueke to Davis on this near side. Looks like he's had the clippers out, Leif Davis, in terms of his new aerodynamic hairstyle. Here is Clark, the number 47. Gets it back to Burgess. Has to be said, just 4 seasons since Chelsea won the Champions League, then the European Super Cup and the Club World Cup. That's the level of opponent Ipswich Town are up against this afternoon. 20 major honours in the last 24 years for Chelsea, of course started by Roman Abramovich, Jose Mourinho, Terry, Lampard, Cole, Drogba, etc. Very much a new look side. Quite heavy rain now at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea moving the ball around nicely. Here is Cole Palmer. He can definitely have a say in a comeback for Chelsea. Cucurella, who's made it 2-1. He's just rejoining us for the second half. Neto coming infield. Neto, edge of the air, right-footed as it goes, saved by Palmer low on his right post. So it's all the way the man in yellow.
Yeah, it's interesting, this substitution. Gusto coming on in the right back position. Cucurella, when he goes forward, he seems to make a diagonal from the left back position to the actual opposition goal.
Great ball from Davis to Hurst. Hurst might have to go it alone. He's capable of doing that. He's inside the Chelsea area, just outside the box. George has a go. Oh, and that was so close. What an effort from Hurst. It just didn't quite have enough bend on it, but that was so close to 3-1 Ipswich.
That is good play. He got possession of the ball. Game. He's got himself turned around. He's going at the lone defender. He got on the inside of him, and that shot was really only inches wide.
He's playing really well, George Hurst. Got a great striker there lined up for next season, who'll have benefited from this year in the Premier League. Good chest trap from Clark, finding Kayuste. Ipswich Town getting some of the ball for the first time in the second half. Johnson with the cross into the middle towards Hurst. Oh, and the flag stays down. He should have scored. He's diving towards the ball. What an opportunity for Town to re-establish their 2-goal lead, and they should have done.
Well, they should have done. And when the ball was being sort of prepared to cross, I thought, wow, don't cross from there. There's too many defenders. The cross was absolutely brilliant. Sort of bypassed 3 defenders and found George Hurst with a diving header, maybe 10 yards from goals. He should really have scored.
And he knows it as well.
So he's just missed the target twice in about 2 minutes.
Wow.
Better spell. This is what we've got to do to Chelsea.
What a miss. If you wonder how costly that might be, that would have drained Chelsea if all of a sudden Town hit them with another sucker punch. Chelsea, lovely diagonal long ball, so accurate from Enzo to Neto. Neto running with the ball, taken on Twanzebe, too deep across, way too much on it. Madueke will recycle down the right hand side. Back it goes to Gusto, controls it, left-footed low to the edge of the area. Cole Palmer gets inside the area, nutmeg. Palmer gets it back, tries to place it into the far left corner, blocked off by Burgess. And Sisso's on the deck, referee says play on. Chelsea have it on the right hand side with Madueke trying to take on Clark. Clark holds him up. Madueke, the number 11 in blue. Back it goes to Enzo. Enzo finds Gusto. Here is Enzo once again. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Really good game live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport, as Arsenal at home will be this time next week. Then Town are at Newcastle United a week on Saturday. Madueke looks one way, plays the ball the other, down the line for Enzo. Enzo crosses, lovely ball right to the far side. Cucurella was closest to it. Neto won't get after it successfully, and it's out for a throw to Town behind right back.
Yeah, very, very good ball in from Enzo, but he just put it in maybe fashion too early. They hadn't really sort of got any momentum from their runs when he actually flashed that ball across the Town 6-yard box. It's gone right the way through for a throw into Town on the other side. But this is an really interesting spell. We've actually picked our game up a little bit, and that's what we've got to do. We've just got to try and knock the stuffing out of Chelsea.
24 years since Chelsea last lost twice in a season to a newly promoted side. That was at Charlton on that particular occasion. It's a mistake from Twanzebe. Neto, edge of the area, gives it to Palmer inside the box. Chance for Chelsea. Another great block by Ipswich Town. Again, O'Shea in the way. They've done that numerous times. Chelsea can rebuild in the second phase of the attack. Gusto to the right-hand side. Madueke again having a run at Davis, a feature of this game. Madueke pulls the ball back to Neto. Neto shoots straight into the centre of the goal, and Palmer's right behind it.
Yeah, we did. We got them, made him go negative, Madueke, but the ball back is actually setting them up for a right good bender into the far post. I'm not sure whether it was a safe position.
Davis on this near side gives it infield to Cayuste. Cayuste spins away from Enzo, now bursts forward to the halfway line. Step over, gets the better of Caicedo with a bit of good fortune. This is a threat. Ipswich Town have got Morsey to Johnson, edge of the area. Can Town get a third goal? In comes a shot from Cayuste. Players are in the way, appeals for a corner, and Town have finally won a corner kick after 56 minutes.
That was a good breakaway, very good from Cayuste to start with. Then I thought he took a little bit of a gamble as he sort of crossing the halfway line, and then we got the advantage, got a little bit of an overload on the right hand side and managed to get another shot away from about sort of 18-20 yards. So, you know, that's good, and the good numbers forward as well.
Certainly wouldn't rule Ipswich Town out of getting a third goal. I mean, probably the safe money is on the next goal being an equaliser, but Town have still got enough about them. Hurst was very close twice. One he was unlucky with, and the second one he should have scored. Town have a corner kick as well. Davis on this corner kick for Ipswich Town. 2-1 they lead Chelsea. It's very deep. Twanzebe slips. Oh, this could be terrible for Ipswich Town's perspective from this corner kick. Here come the Blues en masse. That ball's been overhit to Neto. No, Neto can't quite get into the middle. Well done by Johnson. That would have been unforgivable if Ipswich Town had conceded a goal there from their own corner kick. And Sisso's done very well in midfield. Then gives it back to Cayuste. Excellent play from the Paraguayan. That was Chelsea on the break at full gallop. All the blue shirts going from left to right, but thankfully nothing happened because the Pinks got back and Johnson did well.
Yeah, and did they get back? That was terrific sort of recovery runs from about 4 players in pink shirts. They did do some honest work there. They deserved to win the ball back.
Cayuste to this left-hand side, and Davis. Terrible from Davis, straight to Colwill. Caicedo on halfway to Cole Palmer. Here come Chelsea. Palmer into the box. It's behind Madueke, wide right. Inside the box, he's flagged for offside. Chelsea made a right mess of that after Ipswich Town, through Davis, had criminally given the ball away. Let's go back to Graham.
Tottenham have got one back away at Wolves, but trail 2-1. Ipswich Town women still 5-0 up.
It's good as far as Ipswich Town are concerned. Tottenham's goal. So both games that we're keeping tabs on in terms of the men and the Premier League, 2-1 Ipswich Town leading by that scoreline, and so too, sadly, are Wolves, maintaining that 12-point gap over Ipswich Town. Of course, the other team we're desperate to see score now is Exeter Ladies against Hashtag, which could potentially hand Ipswich Town women the title and promotion to the Championship. Clark clipped by Guster. Kieran McKenna appeals. It's given us a free kick. Position good. Davis about to come off for Townsend by the looks of things, which makes sense. Townsend certainly coming on.
Well, that was good play. The long ball from the goalkeeper. Hurst made it difficult for the centre half to deal with it. The ball drops down, and Clark makes it really difficult for the right back to deal with it, and he ends up giving a free kick away. So from one long ball from the goalkeeper, we've got a free kick 22 yards from the byline, 3 or 4 yards off the touchline.
Leif Davis on this free kick, probably with Townsend primed to come on, with Geordie's last involvement in this game. Can he create a third goal for Ipswich Town at Stamford Bridge? Plenty players forward. Town shown good ambition, confident. In it comes from Davis. Good looking delivery, headed away though by Colwill, up above everyone, out as far as Johnson for Ipswich Town. To this left hand side, Davis gets another chance to knock it in. Sanchez goes towards the ball, so to a couple of players in pink, O'Shea and Hurst, who you'd expect to be up there. Sanchez with a quick kick, a poor kick straight to Johnson. Johnson intercepts, gets it up to O'Shea. He lays it off to Twanzebe far side. Twanzebe thought about crossing, instead he's gone back towards Morsey. Morsey around the corner to Kiyuste, robbed by Casado. Not a good ball from Morsey, it has to be said. Madweke on his bike, getting over halfway, cutting infield, tries to get it through to Jackson. Morsey brings down Madweke. Free kick. Morsey stayed down. It's a foul against Madweke. Townsend still getting ready to come on. Off will go Leif Davis as expected. So little between these two players. Townsend probably in the better form, although of course Davis had that injury that ruled him out of the Bournemouth game. Morsey stayed down, trying to avoid a yellow card potentially, although I don't think the referee's that interested. Incidentally, today is the cut-off date for Liam Delap on 9 yellows. So if he can get through this game without a 10th yellow, he'd be okay until he reaches 15 for the season. Delap. There goes the change. Free kick Chelsea. It's a good almost 40 yards from goal. The referee, Mr. Atwell, just marking out the 10 yards. No Ipswich Town wall as such, just a line of pink shirts, maybe 5 yards outside Palmer's box, off to our right. In the end, Enciso is actually going to stand on the painted line for what it's worth. 2-1 Ipswich Town lead. We're 17 minutes into this second half, so just past the hour mark. Good half hour's worth of football to go. Chelsea play the free kick short and then make a mess of it. Gusto and Madweke on completely different wavelengths. Awful ball from Gusto, and just bizarre the way that Chelsea made an almighty meal of that one. Goal kick Town.
That was the thing they should do, because I think we've sort of overemphasised all our players pretty central and right, and we've left this free to go out to Manduke and through Gusto. Ball to Gusto, Gusto simple do ball to Manduke, and I think they would have been in business, but they mishit the pass.
Morsey goes long but aimlessly straight through to Sanchez. Not quite sure who he's aiming for, the captain. Delap, Townsend and Wolfenden warming up near side. Enzo trying to get Jackson in behind. Poor pass, and Palmer's quickly out to the edge of his 18-yard area. Underarm he goes to O'Shea. Still 2-1 Ipswich Town lead in this game. Wolves 2-1 up at Molineux against Tottenham. Enciso tries to spin Colwill, who takes the ball off of him, then leaves it to Caicedo on the left-hand side. Neto seen a lot of the ball in this game. I probably feel he hasn't done enough with it though. Caicedo forward to Gusto, the right back, but drifting into central midfield more often than not. Now Madweke one-on-one with Townsend. First chance to run at him. Madweke, edge of the area, comes in field now inside the D. Hasn't shot just yet, hasn't at all. Caicedo into the area. Neto takes the ball outside the box. Thought about the right-footed cross, hasn't. He's held on to it. Still Neto has the ball. Still Town lead 2-1. Eventually right-footed plays it into the middle towards the far stick. Can't be met by Gusto. Out it goes, goal kick. Let's go back to Graham.
Another Wolves goal, I'm afraid. They're 2 ahead again. 3-1 they lead Tottenham.
Wow, Town have got to hang on and get something from this game. Wolves, a team in red-hot form at the moment. So too at Everton. Phenomenal. Another win for them yesterday under David Moyes, while Leicester and Southampton made poor managerial choices when they changed. Goodness me, Everton and Wolves got the right men at the right time, didn't they? As Cucurella, who's giving Chelsea this lifeline, gets back to defend, gets it to Sanchez. Sanchez, edge of his area. Right-footed, clears to halfway, goes past Enzo. Townsend gets on the ball, controls it. First time he's had the ball at his feet since coming on, the number 22. Infield to O'Shea. O'Shea, his pass forwards intercepted by Caicedo. Back it goes to Burgess, though, no harm done. Burgess, short to Clark, who showed himself in midfield. Clark now running forward with the ball. Got to the edge of the area, good play from Clark, gives it to Enciso. Enciso in the D, shoots, but it's straight at Sanchez. That was a chance for Ipswich Town. Nice running by Jack Clark that created that chance for Julio Enciso. As here come the changes en masse for Chelsea. Jadon Sancho is certainly about to come on for them.
That was a chance from Enciso, beautifully set up by Jack Clark. He received and turned on a sixpence and then set the ball up for Enciso. He should have done better.
Jadon Sancho might be coming on for Neto. Certainly in a wide area, one would have thought. Chelsea building with Cole Palmer. Palmer edge of the area. Morsey brings him down. The referee says he got the ball. The referee was in a great position. Well spotted. Palmer has stayed down. Twanzebe. Oh, great interception from Colwill. A good player, Levi Colwill. Real prospect for England going forward. He's given the ball to Neto. Neto pulls it back to Cucurella. Square to Gusto, 30 yards from goal. Edge of the area on the right corner is Madueke. Overlapping is Gusto. Gusto with a cross low into the centre. Just on the near post is Jackson. Jackson gets the ball, plays it off Burgess. Yet another corner to Chelsea.
Yeah, we defended correctly there. They've got a corner, but it was good defending.
Town have defended pretty well for the most part in this game. Got to do it for a fair while longer yet. Haven't reached the midway point of this second half. Long old way to go. Possibly as many as 30 minutes with added on time. Yellow card for Cole Palmer. Must have been something he said, feeling that he was fouled by Morsey. Corner kick to Chelsea. Off to our right hand side. Town leading in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge. Desperate to hold on to a real marquee headline-grabbing victory. Still work to be done though. Neto with this corner towards the far stick. Plenty of players in blue there, but the Pinks won it, then headed away by Clark. And as far as Gusto. Gusto, square peg and a square hole in terms of a right back in the second half. Chelsea a bit more balanced. Palmer to Enzo, into the box to Jackson. Jackson trying to get it into the middle. Going into the side netting. And not even here is the front to appeal for a corner. It's a goal kick to Alex Palmer, and the change is going to see Madueke make way for Sancho. Could have been either of the wide players really for me. I thought Neto was maybe the more likely, but it's Sancho who comes on, former Manchester City trainee, although he's a London lad initially, went to Borussia Dortmund, went to Manchester United, but it's not worked out. But a very talented footballer, and he has gone across the left. Neto is going to play down the right where Madueke has been so far. No sign of any changes from the Town bench, and understandably so. Incidentally, Calvin Phillips, I understand, has got an injury. That's why he's not here in the 20 this afternoon. That's just sadly for him. And Ipswich Town a signing that has not worked out at all this season. Throw in far side. Interesting to see where he plays football next season. Calvin Phillips. Colwill. Infield to Sanchez in the penalty box off to our left under the Peter Bonetti, the cat banner. Out it comes to Shalabar. Shalabar to Colwill. Back it goes to Shalabar. Here is Enzo. Enzo to halfway and Cole Palmer rides the challenge of Morsey. Palmer leaves him behind. Palmer still got the ball, loves to run with it, comes in field, trying to get rid of Morsey. Palmer still has the ball, goes square to Cucurella. Now it's with Enzo. To the right-hand side is Neto. All hands on deck for Ipswich Town defensively. So many pink shirts in the box off to our right-hand side. They lead 2-1 live on BBC Radio Suffolk. It's Gusto. Edge of the box down the right-hand side, now inside the area, faced by Townsend, gives it back to Neto. Neto strikes, again another great block, this time from Kayuste. Up in the air it goes. The back header from Clark. Doesn't quite reach Hurst, he's under pressure from Shalabar. Enzo passes to Gusto down the right, infield to Enzo. Town under all sorts of pressure. In comes the cross. Hit away by the left boot of Johnson in the end. Philogene about to come on for Ipswich Town. Sancho, infield to Palmer. Palmer crosses into the Ipswich area, headed down by Townsend, cleared away towards the halfway line. Headed down by Chelsea. Chelsea have it with Caicedo to Cole Palmer. He's still a worry for me. Palmer has it on the edge of the box, always trying to create something. Gives it to Sancho. Sancho inside the box, on as a sub. Back to Cole Palmer. Palmer inside the area. The shot's a trickler. And it's gone wide off an Ipswich Town player for yet another corner to Chelsea.
Yeah, we're defending well in our box, and the blocking just outside of the box has been very, very impressive. And unfortunately, we're going to have to keep doing that if we want to get a result.
Delap coming on for Ipswich Town as well, by the looks of things. Interesting to see who Philogene comes on for. Corner kick for Chelsea. In it comes, low to the near post. Not a good one at all. Headed away again, twisting by Clark. Palmer to Enzo. Enzo wide left for Chelsea, outside the Ipswich area. Gets inside the box, then in comes his centre. Headed away by Townsend. Then there's a shot from Neto. Oh, what a goal that looked like being. He hit it so cleanly. That was arrowed towards the top corner, just thankfully too high. Hurst comes off to be replaced by Delap. It's a very good afternoon, George Hurst. Didn't quite manage to mark it with a goal. And Clark is the player coming off to be replaced by Philogene. Nice to see Philogene really put in a performance for Ipswich Town this afternoon. Hasn't worked out for him so far in difficult circumstances as a Town player, coming into a relegation battle as an attacking player. So it's going to take him time.
Well, we've got a new left side, you know, and we're going to have to make sure that these two, and he's talking to him now, Townsend's talking to Philogene. Whether Philogene likes it or not, he's going to have to assist Townsend defensively as well as Townsend assists Philogene in attack. They've got to work as a partnership up and down here.
Let's see what Philogene can do then in a defensive sense. I'll have to have a little worry about that. Enzo, it's the ball for Chelsea, stomped forward by Morsey, cleared by Colwill. Jackson will go after it. O'Shea hooks it up and out on the far side for a throw-in to Chelsea. 26.5 minutes played in this second half. We just want the time to fly, with Ipswich Town still leading 2-1. 2-0 at half-time. Goals from Enciso and Johnson, but then literally 18-19 seconds into the second half, Chelsea through Cucurella got themselves back into this game. Enzo goes back to Shalabar. Chelsea have the ball at centre-half live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Full match commentary of Town's home game against Arsenal next Sunday. Same match day hours, 1 till 5. Before that, the match day preview between 6 and 7 on Friday night will start the build-up, as Philogene is down injured in a 50-50 with Enzo, who very sportingly has put the ball out near side. The fans aren't happy with that. They thought that Chelsea could have carried on, but it was a real gentlemanly conduct from the Argentinian. The numbers to get in touch, incidentally, as well. I have a chat to Mick and Graham post-match while I go and speak to Kieran McKenna, and hopefully a Town player. 0800 141 2121 is the phone number. You can text 81333. Start those messages SFK. Or WhatsApp 08000 321 333. And I mentioned the match day preview on Friday between 6 and 7. Tomorrow night, Monday night, every Monday night between 6 and 7, it's the Blue Hour, and I'd love to hear from you tomorrow evening, discussing all things Ipswich Town. The email address brenner@bbc.co.uk, and also those numbers I gave out are all valid for tomorrow night. Let's go back to Graham. 2-1 Town.
Just the one goal for Ipswich Town women this half. Sophie Pescott's fourth of the game. They lead MK Don 6-0.
Chelsea with Caicedo out to the left-hand side, and Sancho one-on-one with Twanzebe. Town have got a man down off the ball in the centre of the park. Into the centre it comes. Oh, it's cleared off the line pretty much by Connor Townsend. And his players, his teammates run towards him to celebrate. And this looks to be a bad one for Jayden Philogene. Off the ball he's gone down. Obviously that knock of a few moments ago involving Enzo. And oh, this is not nice to see at all. He's really in an awful lot of pain, and this is a real worry for him and Ipswich Town. Well, you consider the misfortune they've had this season with injuries to wide players like O'Benny and Burns, who've been ruled out for the season. Now this looks a nasty one for Philogene. who's about to be replaced by Broadhead, having made one of the shortest substitute appearances in Ipswich Town history by the looks of things.
Yeah, it was just a 50-50 block between him and Enzo, and sometimes if you go in not quite right, you can get that the impact can sort of hit you sort of at the end of the foot, and your foot doesn't give any resistance to it at all, and often the injury occurs around the knee joint, so he could be in a lot of trouble there, and he's certainly going to go off. He's hardly sort of touched the ball, but just speaking about this, Townsend the other end, terrific defending on the line there for Town. Chelsea have a corner. Philogene definitely coming off, but we've got Broadhead.
He's not on a stretcher, which is good to see. He's been lifted off by the Ipswich Town doctor and physio, an arm around both of them's shoulders, and Broadhead will replace him. Jack Taylor, a Chelsea fan, I think he might have had some time in their academy before ending up at Barnet, is about to come on for what will be a memorable afternoon for him.
Well, they've got enough members of staff there. Can't they chair the poor guy off? He can hardly sort of put any weight at all on that.
Oh, sad to see.
They travel down with about 50 people.
Yeah, off he goes, gets a pat on the head and the back from Jack Taylor and Nathan Broad, and Kieran McKenna also consoling him. Let's hope it's not as bad as it kind of looks. He's going straight down the tunnel. Poor Jaden Philogene. And Siso is the other player coming off, and Siso and Philogene have been replaced by Broadhead and Taylor. Their first duties, those two, Broadhead and Taylor, is to come back and defend this Chelsea corner kick, their 10th of the afternoon. Final 15 minutes are underway at Stamford Bridge. Town hold on to a massive victory. Chelsea corner, and it comes from Enzo. Shalabar heads it up, and it's easy pickings for Alex Palmer.
Yeah, we needed some simple corner to come in and for the goalkeeper to get possession of the ball, because we now need just to settle back into the game. We've made another couple of changes, so we really need to concentrate and get the flow of the team going again.
High kick from Palmer. Still the only goal of the second half was that one inside the first 20 seconds from Cucurella. That might be about to change. Here come Chelsea with Enzo. Enzo up to the edge of the area, having a go, saved by Palmer. It's a comfortable stop down to his left-hand side, by far the busier of the two keepers, although he's not had to make world-class save after world-class save, Palmer.
Yeah, Cameron Burgess just saying well done to Connor Townsend, because they got that exactly right. They backed off as far as you sort of can back off, and then Cameron Burgess came to the ball and sort of made the Chelsea player shoot from a distance he probably didn't want to shoot from.
We'll hear from Kieran McKenna on match day before off air at 5 o'clock, and hopefully catch up with an Ipswich Town player as well. Colwill gives the ball to Shalabar on this right hand side. Here is Neto. Neto rides the challenge of Delap. Delap's going to get onto the ball. A good strong play from Delap. Typical him. Into the area he goes. Shalabar challenges. Out the ball goes for a rare Ipswich Town corner. But Chelsea have now realised in no uncertain terms that Liam Delap's on the field.
Yeah, and he's limping a little bit as well. You know, but you don't give Liam Delap half a chance to steal a ball like that. That was bad play from the two Chelsea players, and he just stole the ball, and he's won us a corner.
Still more chat between Kieran McKenna and Simon Hooper. Those two have been speaking to each other an awful lot this afternoon. Ben Johnson in front of the Town supporters at Stamford Bridge with this corner kick. It looked a decent one, headed away though by a blue shirt, out as far as Morsey, but Townsend took charge. Well done, Connor Townsend. He was the right person to make that header rather than Morsey. Jackson keeps the ball in just about, gives it to Cole Palmer. Palmer's attempted pass is closed down, appeals for handball not given. Here come Chelsea again with Palmer on this near side. Floats the ball to the left-hand side, Cucurella. Chelsea with Enzo. Now Sancho into the box to Cucurella. Cucurella into the middle, it comes blocked off by O'Shea, and yet another corner to Chelsea, the 5th of the second half.
Yeah, good defended again. It's good backup defending. Morsey gets half a block in, and
Cucurella plays it short to Palmer. Inside there is Jadon Sancho, tries to pick his spot, and he has! That's a beautiful equalising goal. What a strike from the substitute Jadon Sancho, and from 2-0 down, Chelsea have levelled at 2-2 with 12 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge. The home crowd believes that they can go on and break Ipswich Town's hearts.
Well, it's a glorious goal, but you can't help but think that we don't pay enough attention to short corners. We never have done, and I don't understand it, because when they put crosses in, we seem to deal with them really well. If any team takes a short corner against us, we look vulnerable.
Great goal from Sancho, what a finish.
Oh, it's a wonderful shot,
wasn't it? He has got that talent. Ipswich Town with Taylor losing the ball. Has he been fouled? No, it was his follow-through, fouled Caicedo. The home crowd now really does believe they can go on and win this game, but who's to say Ipswich Town won't stun them with a third goal of their own. 2-0 to Town in the first half, 2-0 to Chelsea in the second. On halfway, Shalabar gives it back to Colwell. As disappointed as we are at this exact time, I think with 10 minutes to go, we'd have all taken this scoreline being 2-2 at 1 o'clock, wouldn't we? But let's see what Ipswich Town can do now to resist Chelsea. Here is Broadhead. Loses the ball to Gusto. Gusto keeps it in with a little drag back up against Cayuste. Back the ball goes to Shalabar. Forward from Colwell to Jackson, dropping off the front line. Sancho on the left-hand side, overlapping as Jackson inside the area. Jackson gets away from Morsey. In it comes low, sliced up by O'Shea. Can he prevent the ball going out for a corner kick? He can do. Good work from Dara O'Shea. It's just a Chelsea throw on the far side. They're desperately keen to get the ball back into play. They get it to Cole Palmer. Second ball on the field, far side. Palmer has the ball. Stands on it for Chelsea, faced by Morsey. Morsey's been in his way an awful lot in this game. Jadon Sancho gives it back to Caicedo, has a go, that belts off of Cayuste. Not the first important block he's made in this match. So many from Ipswich Town's defensive players throughout this game. Can't take your eyes off this one. 9 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge. Cole Palmer to Gusto. On the right-hand side is Neto. Chance for him to challenge Townsend. Comes in field Neto. Thought he was going to cross. Gusto goes on an overlap on the outside. Gives it back in field to Shalabar centrally. Shalabar finds Neto again. Totally different atmosphere at the bridge at the moment. Enzo has it for Chelsea. They're number 8. Good little player to Gusto. Gusto into the box to Neto, right of centre. Deep cross to the far stick. Cucurella heads it down into the centre. On the stretch, O'Shea gets it away. As far as Cucurella in the rain. Caicedo infield to Cole Palmer. He gives it to Enzo. Enzo with the ball into the box, looks a good one. Good diving header away from O'Shea. Delap's on the ball for Ipswich Town, that'll do. Scored a penalty against Chelsea back in December. Still has it near side. Oh, brilliant play from Delap. Took Shalabar to the cleaners. Now taking on Enzo down the left-hand side outside the Chelsea area. Delap still has it, plays it off him, wins a corner kick. That was terrific play from Liam Delap.
That was 50 yards of terrific play. If people don't think he's a good player, just come and watch that. I mean, that was superb. He's completely on his own. He's got 2 players to contend with, and he wins us a corner. Okay, is a corner that important? It is in a situation like that, because up comes Cameron Burgess, Dara O'Shea, and we've got an opportunity.
Yeah, it won't be on Delap's show reel of highlights for the season, but it really should be. That was terrific play from it, given the circumstances. Johnson with a corner kick for Ipswich Town. Can they make it 3-2? They might. It's headed at Sanchez. It's a good header. It might have actually been Liam Delap. It was certainly on target from an Ipswich Town player. Here is Jackson on halfway. Good block by Townsend. Well done. Town get the ball back with Johnson. Town very close there to the 5th goal of the game. Broadhead to the left and Townsend back to Broadhead. Good link up between these two. Broadhead's won another corner kick. Town having a go. Kieran McKenna's smiling, and well he might.
Well done, that's good play. We've just questioned Chelsea with the run of Delap, and now all of a sudden we pick up possession. We win possession really well, and Broadhead questions them again. So that's good play. Just makes them think.
So the best form of defence is attack. And that's what Ipswich Town are doing at the moment. They're having a go. They're not settling for a 2-2 here. They believe they can go in and get the 5th goal of this game. It's Johnson who scored in this one, uncreated, hangs the corner, kicks the far post, headed down towards that far stick. Town appeal for another corner. It's not been given. They were convinced, Burgess, O'Shea and Townsend, it should have been another corner. Ball's back in play. 6 minutes to go, live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Sancho, who's made it 2-2, has the ball coming forward for Chelsea. Overlapping Cucurella on the left-hand side. He's fouled, is he, by Morsey? Yes, he is. Could be a yellow card. It is for the Ipswich Town captain. It's his 9th of the season, but as I say, game 32 is the cut-off for 10 to make a great deal, so if he keeps his nose clean for the next 10 minutes or so, he'll be all right.
Yeah, he just never quite got there, Sam.
Chance there for Chelsea from this corner kick to do a Manchester City this weekend, to come back from 2-0 down to grab a Premier League victory. Chelsea, of course, still with lots to play for in the Europa Conference League, favourites for that competition, as well they should be, but also trying to secure Champions League football through the Premier League table. Free kick to Chelsea, just behind the right back area, outside the town box, off to our right. Everybody back in pink defending this. It's Neto who's going to left-footed put it into the Ipswich Town area, headed down and almost in by Shalabar. When he met it, it looked easier to score than miss, but Town have defended it well. It's out for a corner kick to Chelsea, taken quickly, trying to catch Ipswich Town out again, but there's a second ball on the field, and that's come to the aid of Ipswich Town, because they were a little bit short there. So yeah, Chelsea with that complicated there by that second ball coming on the field. Chelsea play the corner kick short back to Cole Palmer. He gives it to Gusto, 30 yards from goal. Not confident enough to shoot. He's given it back to Cole Palmer. He comes his cross towards the far stick. Header out behind by Burgess. Another corner kick to Chelsea. That's 12 in this match.
Yeah, and the only time I really worry about their corners is when they go short.
Chelsea goes short for the corner kick. Cucurella to Sancho. Sancho pulls it back to Palmer. Palmer left-footed, has a go, trying to outdo Sancho for the goal of the game. And if that one had gone in, it would have been, but it's over the bar.
Kieran's going, he's putting his irons out there as if to say, settle down.
The yellow card.
You try and do it.
Palmer and Jackson have a little set too. Jackson gets a yellow card as Palmer ends up on the deck. Another change for Chelsea. I would imagine it's Nkunku coming on for Jackson, who's just been given that yellow card. Got a lot of goals in Europe this season, Christopher Nkunku. In fact, half of his 14 goals in total have come in the Europa Conference League. Very highly regarded French striker in his second season. Cost £52 million. That's what Ipswich Town are going to have to deal with in this final 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes of normal time to go at Stamford Bridge. It's 2-2 between Chelsea and Ipswich Town. Town hoping to take 4 points off Chelsea. Well, they'd ideally like to still take 6 points off Chelsea this season, but at the moment, as things stand, they're taking 4, which is no mean feat.
No, it's not
at all. But just sadly, Wolves still beating Tottenham, and still, as far as we know, we've got a 2-goal cushion over Tottenham as well, so the result at Molineux is very much going against Ipswich Town. What we don't want to see here is Chelsea getting a late winner. Of course, Town have conceded a fair number of late winners this season, and already heading into this game had thrown away, or lost, should I say, 25 points from winning positions. This could be another 28 if Chelsea score. Way too many. Palmer to Sancho inside the Ipswich Town area. Good play by Twanzebe, surely shoved to the floor. Yes, he is. Free kick to Town at the back. Still, it's Palmer and Sancho who are causing my heart to skip a beat at the moment.
Good defending on the edge of the box, but we allowed them to come through the lines far too easily for me, and we went from a secure position to a dangerous position against too easily. But we've just got to see these few minutes out, and this will be a grand result.
Palmer kicks the ball forward. Cucurella goes over the top of Johnson on the far side. Johnson has another good game for Ipswich Town. Plays it down the line towards Delap. Delap in field to Morsey. Good play from Town. Broadhead controls it. Gives it to Taylor. Delap wants a return ball. Taylor is fouled. Free kick. In a good position for Ipswich Town.
Well done, Jack. Good play. Now we can sort of maybe just throw the odd centre half up a 2, you know, and this is a good angle. There's plenty of room. The defensive line is on the edge of the box. Keeper, he'll want to start about 5 yards from his goal, so there's a little bit of room between keeper and defenders.
Simon Hooper giving Enzo Maresca a Bit of a slap on the wrist, and it was a good decision from the referee. Taylor clearly fouled by Colwill.
Very far post.
Morsey on this free kick for Ipswich Town, 30 plus yards from goal, off to our left into the Chelsea area. It comes headed down by Burgess. Chance for Taylor. Oh, and it was a chance for Taylor, 16 yards out. He got underneath it and it's gone over the bar, but Kieran McKenna's head's in his hands. He knew that was an opportunity for a 3-2 goal.
Yeah, it was. It just bounced a fraction too high. He could have, I think he had time to let it drop a little bit, but you don't know that when you're in the opposition penalty area.
Great header from Burgess. Chelsea playing it around short at the back, a little bit risky with Delap closing down players and real freshness in his legs. It was a clever header from Burgess to set up Taylor. I thought he was going to have another Wolves moment, another late winner for Town. Into the final 30 seconds. There's Town of a man down in the centre circle. I think it's Kayuste holding his head. Bit of a clumsy challenge on him. Ian Morsey, one would imagine, likely to get through the full 90 minutes plus with no Phillips on the bench. As Kayuste says he's going to be okay, just wasting a few valuable seconds. Simon Hooper, the fourth official's ready, standing in between Maresca and McKenna with 6 minutes of added on time. It's a few too many for our liking.
I expected it, but I don't like it.
No, although we like it if Town score in the 5th minute of those 6, but yeah, let's see what develops. Still life in this one. We're at the start of the added on 6 minutes. Town free kick on halfway, and Morsey knocks it forward towards Burgess. Enzo's knocked down off the ball by Broadhead. Free kick to Chelsea. Well, at least it's not been the 7-0 that we saw here last time. That was the 7-0, which was followed up a few days later by Town, thanks to Thomas Briskin beating Arsenal at Portman Road. What a bizarre few days for stand-in manager Ian McParland. And coincidentally, of course, Town's next opponents as we sit here this afternoon are Arsenal at home off the back of their trip to the Burnabout. The Gunners will be at Portman Road next Sunday afternoon. Start the build-up on the matchday preview on Friday 6 till 7, then matchday is on air from 1 o'clock. Palmer back into the centre of the field, and Colwill. Wolves, as things stand, extending their lead over Ipswich Town to 14 points at the bottom of the Premier League. Neto coming in field for Chelsea, up against Broadhead back defending. Broadhead and Townsend working in tandem down this left. Here is Cole Palmer, threads the ball forward to Caicedo, intercepted to a point by Taylor, diverting it back to the Town back line. The ball's just kept in field by Colwill. 90 seconds of the added on 6 minutes are up. Kieran McKenna's thoughts to come post-match. We're pleased with a lot of what he's seen from his side this afternoon. No doubt, whatever the final score. Sancho, who's made it 2-2, infield towards Gusto. Gusto helps it on first time, blocked off by Ipswich Town. O'Shea runs away with the ball, then goes for goal from a long way out. He saw that Sanchez was off his line. What a goal that would have been, because he was about 15 even more yards inside his own half of the field.
I think he ran out of ideas.
Sanchez got the ball. Chelsea with Caicedo. Still 3.5 minutes to play. Neto, the ball slightly behind him, held up by Kayuste. Neto's got back onto the ball. Neto into the area, and Kunku gives it back to Palmer! And it's saved by Alex Palmer. Alex denying Cole. And that was an important stop from the Ipswich Town goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was a good stop in the end, but we just switched off on the edge of the box a little bit. I thought they were running into a brick wall, and we just sort of froze a little bit.
Corner kick to Chelsea. Cole Palmer on it. 3 minutes of added on time played at the end of this game in the rain. Palmer pulls it back to Enzo. Enzo gives it back to Palmer by the byline. In comes his cross towards the far stick. Neto chests it down, and his effort way off target, spins off the outside of his left boot into the crowd.
Yeah, and I think a few Chelsea supporters decided just to get up off their seats after that shot, which is a good sign.
Yeah, a fair few people leaving Stamford Bridge, believing that their side can't beat Ipswich Town this season. A feather in the cap of Ipswich if they can go unbeaten against Chelsea. Alex Palmer, it's a good stop from him. 2.5 minutes to play at Stamford Bridge. This would be really hard if Ipswich Town lose this game right at the death. And Kunku battling for the ball. Piuste brought down by Broadhead. Broadhead gets the better of Caicedo and also Cucurella. Good run this from Broadhead on the right-hand side. He's carried the ball diagonally. Broadhead on the right touchline, trying to take on Cucurella. It's a good cross into the centre, headed down by Shalabar to Taylor. Taylor inside the box, right of centre, and he bangs it into the side netting. What a mistake that was from Shalabar, and Taylor almost capitalised on it.
Well done, Nathan Broadhead. That was a good run, and that was a good little chance for Taylor. Unlucky.
Final 2 minutes underway at Stamford Bridge. Here is Gusto to Sancho. Sancho with space, far side, runs with the ball, edge of the area, gives it to Cucurella. All the pink shirts bar Delap behind the ball, wide left outside the box. It's Sancho. Sancho still has the ball. He gives it back to Caicedo. Caicedo into the Ipswich area, brought down by Enzo. A chance for Enzo to win it. Blocked by Townsend. A terrific block from him. Out it goes for another corner kick to Chelsea. A few whistles, but they're not the important.
I thought that was the referee.
Final whistle. No. Still more than a minute to go. Chelsea take the corner kick short. Cole Palmer has it up against Broadhead, gives it back to Gusto. Gusto into the Ipswich area. High ball headed down towards the near post, out behind from Cole. Will goal kick.
I think that is the end.
Nope, still a minute to go.
Yeah, it'll be sensible.
Town have the ball though. Hopefully they can kill this one off and draw 2-2 at Chelsea, but with Wolves winning, not that it matters a great deal. I think after last week we know what direction Ipswich Town are heading in, but as long as they can get something from this game, don't think they can be relegated next weekend. Whereas if Chelsea were to win this and Wolves were to win, Ipswich maybe can come forward and win it now. Can Taylor get goal side? He's brought down by Cole.
Referee.
No foul. Town bench is incensed. They felt that should have been given as a free kick on the edge of the box. Chelsea now, this will be controversial. Have they got time to go on and win this game? By my watch, there's only 10 seconds to go. Enzo on halfway for Chelsea. Infield to Caicedo. Kieran McKenna will blow his top if Chelsea win it, but they don't. The two managers, Enzo Maresca and Kieran McKenna, shake hands. Kieran McKenna puffs out his cheeks as he shakes hands with the backroom staff at Chelsea. And Town have remained unbeaten against the multi-million-pound spenders from West London. A win at Portman Road at Christmas time and a 2-2 draw here in the rain at Stamford Bridge just before Easter.
Well, it was a difficult situation in the end, and we've deserved the point. We really have, because the game was a bit fluctuating. We had a fluctuating first half, but we ended up going in the dressing room 2-0 in front. Marvellous position, a real terrific platform to possibly go on and get 3 points from the game. But the worst thing possible happened at the start of the second half was Chelsea got themselves a goal back. You know, that really shouldn't happen, but it did. It made it incredibly difficult for Town to sort of keep in front. In the end, they didn't keep in front. Chelsea actually sort of got themselves an equaliser, and that was a spectacular goal. Not very much you can do about it. Maybe, you know, if we can sort of improve on stopping short corner kicks than what we have constantly done all the season. But then we actually, instead of sort of totally and utterly defending for the remainder of the game, we actually found one or two very, very good attacking moments, you know, and could have scored from a couple of them. So, you know, this was a really good performance. Largely, a lot of it, the first half, we had those really good, clever attacking movements that produced 2 good goals, but a lot of defending in the first half. Second half, there was even more defending. So this result pretty much has been gained on the basis of sort of valiant defending, if you like, but everybody has played their part. They really have. We've used, you know, a large amount of players. Plenty of substitutes came on. Some of those substitutes, Delap, Taylor, Townsend, they all did credible work, you know, when they did come on. And we twice had this crowd moaning at their team. So, you know, that tells you something, tells you that as an away team you've played really well. So this is a decent performance. It's a shame you know, what is happening up at Molineux, or what has happened up at Molineux. We can't do anything about that, but we can go away from here today, and this is a hard-earned point and a deserved one.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we all know Ipswich Town are going to be relegated at the end of this season, but that's the sort of performance that we want to see. We've seen it here this afternoon. We want to see it against Arsenal, want to see it at Newcastle against Everton. Where have they got? West Ham, Leicester, Brentford, all those games still to go, and we'll have an enjoyable ride over the course of these final 6 games of the season. Great scenes amongst the Ipswich Town supporters, all 3,000 of them off to our left-hand side, celebrating almost as if they've won this game, really giving it up for their heroes in pink, who are clapping back towards them. Good performance this from Ipswich Town. Sadly, they couldn't get the victory, but at least they've come away with a point, and they do deserve that. They've drawn 2-2 with Chelsea. Kieran McKenna's on the way.